Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Forgive and Forget. My name is Hal Sadi, a.k.a. Khalu, and this is the show where I'll talk about the stuff that, whatever, because this week is a little different, guys. We have a guest on the podcast this week. His name is Alex Olinger. He's a fantastic comedian, and I have to address a few things that happened on the podcast. Well, about 20 minutes in, the video just started, well, it died pretty much, like kaput. Like, I don't know what happened. The divine power of the Lord, I don't know, guys, but that's what happened. So we got video for 20 minutes for a 2.5 hour podcast. So take what you will, you know? But I had a great time. I hope Alex had a great time as well. I was laughing throughout. He's a really funny guy. And also, if you want to follow Alex and his online escapades, he is at Alex Olinger Comedy on Instagram, okay? The link is on the page description, and I'll probably, on the YouTube thing, I'll put the little chyron or whatever that's called. And you can see it there, okay? Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I have my friend here, Alex Olinger. He is a comedian and all-around good guy. Welcome, Alex, to the podcast.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you, man.
I like coming here because you could tell when I walked in, I was like, this is a man who has a job. There's a woman here. Yeah. You know, there's a Roomba. It's like this man's got his shit together. Seen a lot of bad houses. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got it. You got water. You got cups. I mean, some people don't have that. I respect you for. I mean, AC is working. That TV is, I think, taller than me. It's a bigger TV than me. This is good, man.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you know, water is kind of necessary, so I'm glad I have that. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I lived with a guy who, well, I didn't live with him. He was my buddy. I would visit there frequently, and he used to sell weed. And their water got cut off because the two roommates wouldn't pay rent. Oh shit! So they literally had a giant outside like wheel trash can full of water that they like used to flush the toilet. It was like third world country type stuff. Dude, where was that? Raleigh, North Carolina. Oh, yeah. So this wasn't like a common thing. Yeah. It's not like that happens in North Carolina. Yeah, that's just it was guys. Their fault for sure. The neighbors had water, they just didn't. So it's nice to come in. You know, everything's clean. Yeah, appreciate it. There's no evil on the walls here. Yeah. I'm trying to keep the evil out, man. You know. Good. Yeah. Keep it away. So you said you grew up in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. How was that? It was I describe Raleigh, North Carolina as like living in a Weezer song. Okay. Because you're like, okay. Because it's like, is this good? Is it bad? Yeah. I kind of like this, but I kind of don't. Yeah. It's one of the most mediocre places. Like it's safe, but there's a little danger. Yeah. Like anything you can think of. Yeah. You know, I was like, me and my friends would kind of. Like when I was really slacking off and drinking and just hanging out with like local characters, we would just go to the coffee shop for like 5 hours a day. Just hang. It was a great time. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like medium size too. It's the most average place in America. You come there, you're like, all right, this is just right in the middle. Okay. Yeah. How many people live there? When I was there, it was like 500,000. Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a decent size. Right. It's like, but it's very spread out. Okay. So it's like a small downtown, and then a lot of pockets of suburbs and like smaller towns and kind of like cities around it. Okay. Like, so I grew up in Costa Rica, and it's like a very tiny country. Like, right. I think it's maybe a little bit bigger than Rhode Island or something like that, but
but it's very tiny. The population is like 4 to 5 million, but like
Right.
the city where I grew up in like the suburbs of the city,
Right.
and there's like 1 million people there. So it still feels kind of like a big city in a way, but at the same
Okay.
time not really. So I guess I kind of know what you're talking about.
Right. Well, it's just like it's that's what I'm saying. It's so average because there's people there, but
Yeah.
like nothing
Nothing's happening.
is happening in any regard.
Yeah.
Like everything that you have in another city is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Not as good.
toned down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there's like you got all the people, you got like you got the degenerates and like punks and like rich people, and they're all just kind of on a
Yeah.
even keel.
Okay.
It's not like down here where it's just it's I don't know if Austin was always this insane or crazy, but it feels like it's just been taken over by
Yeah.
kind of like bros who want to party.
Yeah, I can
and
see that.
Australians for some reason.
I can see that. Yeah.
You know, it's not. It feels like it's operating on like a slower frequency.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be a kid. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, like having that slow frequency as a kid, because that gives the kid a little more imagination, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you get some space. You know. I mean, the neighborhood I grew up in was nice, but what was really great about it was there was like 6 boys my age in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So it was essentially every day after school or on the weekends, like it was the classic, we would just go door to door and you just assemble a crew
Okay.
for the day.
That's
and
awesome.
It was like, it was like a lot of woods there. And behind the woods was the NC State vet school. They had like cow fields.
Do you go cow tipping or anything like that?
We didn't push them over. You know, we lit a lot of stuff on fire. Our hobby was we'd go in and find old dead trees and knock them down.
Really?
Yeah, which we almost got hurt a couple times.
Yeah, I can. Dude, those are, even though they're dead, they're still probably very grounded in there.
Yeah, they're also like heavy and a tree, you know.
So was it like a full tree? I'm thinking
like
about
some
like
of
a
them-
stump or something.
No, like some of them were like full trees.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
I remember my buddy like walked up one time and was shaking this old dead tree, and the tree didn't fall over, but the top broke off.
Oh, no.
In like a 7 or 8 foot piece of tree came straight down and landed like between his arms. Into
Whoa.
the ground, so it was like 6 inches away from just taking him out on the head.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
dude.
But that's good kid fun.
Yeah.
Gotta have a little danger.
Oh, yeah, you need a little bit of that,
yeah,
man.
if none of your friends get like a tetanus shot growing up, like someone's got to get seriously injured for it to be a good time.
Yeah.
At least once.
You need some sort of danger to actually have I don't know. I feel like
to have a child.
Yeah.
To grow up and you need like an injury or two.
Yeah. I feel like kids don't have. I don't want to get in a rant about kids these days or anything like that.
Oh,
but
let's do it. Dude. You got the couch and the 2 dogs. You're living out here in Buda, Texas. You got the 55-inch TV. I'd say it's time to rant, buddy. You got the fucking Cabela's grill out back. Let's fucking go
Let's
for
fucking go, bro.
these kids don't know about shit. No, but it does seem like they don't have enough adventure.
Yeah.
And
it's dude, I feel like when I was a kid, way back when, you know.
Yeah.
We would just do anything. Like
right.
my
They
mom
just let them out.
Yeah, my mom just like left me alone at home and just, all right, don't burn the house down.
Yeah, that's what my mom did. She would like my mom and my friend's mom, one of my best friends growing up. I guess they were talking amongst themselves, but they both started doing this thing where they were like, they'd put us outside because we just wanted to play Grand Theft Auto all day. I remember that game specifically. We just wanted to play it all day, so they would kick us outside, and they'd lock the door, and they'd be like, you can't come back until streetlights are on.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we just go, like, adventuring, get into crazy shit. Yeah, kids would get hurt. My buddy had like a playground in his backyard with this swing set and a slide, and he was goofing off one day, and he was trying to like run up the slide, and there was a bunch of snow on the ground, and there was snow on the slide, and he slipped and he slipped forward and hit his face on the slide and just knocked his front tooth in half. Yeah, that was a good one. There was one year it iced really bad. One side of our neighborhood had like, the street I was on it was one long street, but the neighborhood is actually on like sort of like a hill area. So we were on like the bottom street, and the rest of the neighborhood would run up. So the one side, everybody's houses on one side had like really steep driveways, and then everybody's yards on the other side were like the yards were hills, and it all iced over. I was in one of those like saucer sleds.
Yeah.
And I was sledding down the hill and went up accidentally into my buddy's side yard and went down, and there was like this groove kind of in the grass, this divot. And for some reason, I spun around backwards, and his neighbors had a fence that jutted out.
Oh, no.
Like 90 degrees. I swear on my life, I went down and got caught perfectly in the groove in the corner of the fence. I hit it between my ass cheeks.
Oh, shit, dude.
So it was like, I was sliding out. I was like, oh, God. I flipped around backwards and right into the corner, like the pocket of my asshole.
Oh, no,
the
dude.
The corner of this, yeah. I had a giant bruise, and it fucked me up.
Damn, dude.
A couple kids on sleds like went and like got stuck under cars. Yeah, it was a wild time.
Dude, that sounds like a lot of fun, though.
I'm telling you, it was great. Kids were getting hurt. They're dropping like flies. People were getting like ice snowballs to the face and having to go home. I remember a kid got hit with a golf ball really hard in the hand.
Oh, no.
He had to ice it. My brothers almost burned the woods down. That was a classic.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, we were partying. Like, fuck TikTok, dude. We had nightmares.
Oh, man. I'm kind of glad we didn't record that sort of shit, though, because...
Dude, no. It's got to be why the kids are so nervous now.
Yeah.
All the time.
Everything's on a phone now.
Everything's on a phone. Someone's going to film you humiliating yourself.
Yeah.
You know? We didn't record anything.
I mean, you'd get humiliated, but not by the entire world. Just like, your neighbors or something like that.
Yeah, you should be humiliated in front of like 10 people.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Good amount.
Yeah.
Because you remember when you were a kid and like how severe embarrassment is.
Yeah.
And think about that if you feel like it's on a world scale.
Oh, no.
You'd absolutely lose your mind.
Yeah. Dude, I still feel like severe embarrassment, but like, I'm not going to do that. Just it's going to be so embarrassing. I'm going to skip that part,
Yeah, yeah.
That still happens.
Oh, for sure, dude. I remember when I was young, in like 4th grade, and I still remember this. This is how embarrassing this was. And it was such a petty thing, but to kids, it was a huge deal. I went to the bathroom, and I kind of like spaced out or something, and I took the girls' bathroom pass.
Okay.
And just went to the bathroom with the girls' bathroom pass. And then I got back, and like a girl was waiting to go to the bathroom because I'd taken the pass.
Yeah.
I remember getting back to the room, and everybody like just locked on me.
Oh,
holding
really?
The girls' bathroom pass, and everybody just like burst out. It was the worst thing ever. And you do that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Someone's like bullying you.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's you said you have brothers?
2 little brothers.
2 little brothers. So you're the big boy.
Mm-hmm. Oldest brother.
What's it like? I'm the youngest. What's it like being the oldest?
It's kind of fun. Because I'm like the guinea pig kid. So like I'm the one who did like all the drugs, got caught doing everything. And I also like tormented the shit out of my brothers.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, you got to give them,
you got to put them in check.
Sauce them up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had a little bit of that with my brother. So I have 2 sisters and a brother. And for the most, my sisters were like really nice to me. Like they showered me with they babied me pretty much.
Oh yeah, because you were the youngest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they
my
always
brother.
get that attention.
Yeah, but my brother, like, even though we would get along a lot, we would fight a lot too, and he just like knew how to push those buttons,
Oh,
man.
dude. Yeah, my younger brother knew. Like, we were roommates for a year.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great, but we just, like, fought all the time growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was, like now in retrospect, we both understand what the dynamic was.
Yeah.
Where he was like, yeah, I was kind of annoying.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm sorry for being an asshole. But it was, like, two, like, kind of tightly wound personalities
Mhm.
that just didn't complement each other.
Yeah.
And it was, like, constant.
Yeah.
I remember, my mom actually got a minivan so she could put each of us in a different row so we wouldn't sit next to each other. Because if we sat next to each other, we'd just be, like, beating the shit out of each other. Or
Oh
like,
man, okay.
like fighting or, like, yelling. Yeah, we went pretty hard.
She knew her stuff though. She's like, I'm not gonna put these kids in the same.
Yeah, she's like, I need a new car. We're getting them all separate rows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it's probably one of the worst things I actually did to them was they would be playing N64 and I just walk up and press the reset
Oh
button.
no, I
Right.
would beat the shit out of you. Did
Right.
that.
That was like that's dude, I share so many stories in that one, like the few times I did that to fuck with them.
Yeah.
People are like, that's yeah. I mean, the emotional berating is one thing.
Yeah.
But you reset Ocarina of Time in the middle.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
Not-
I would do it to fuck with them, and then I remember, like, the second or third time I did it, it was my middle brother, and I pressed the reset button, and he gets up, and he just goes, like Hulk Hogan flexes and runs up on the futon, jumps off, and, like, WWE, like, lateral drop kicks me in the chest, and I just flew backwards, and then my little brother was there, and he was so little at the time that he just starts getting amped.
Yeah.
Like Steve Carell's character in Anchorman. He's just like, and like, dude, it was like an all-out, just like wrestling brawl.
Oh, man.
It went down super hard that day.
Were you guys really big into wrestling?
No, but that was the time. I don't know. See, that's how I knew he was mad. Like, we weren't allowed to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
So that drop kick was purely from the heart and
Oh.
inspired. Like, it came out of nowhere. Like, he had never seen that before. It was just a pure passion
Oh,
of,
man.
like, lateral just, bah!
This is just what I need to do to this asshole right now.
Yeah. Like, it came from the soul. And I never did that again. We used to play a game where we would just put boxes over our heads, like giant boxes, and we would just sprint at each other full speed. That was like a game we played. You ever like slid down the stairs in a sleeping bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would do that a lot. We the house was like, dude, it was a war zone. It was complete chaos. We would have Beanie Baby fights.
Okay.
Where like we'd have like my parents would have a work party. We have a lot of kids over, and me and my brothers would orchestrate every year a Beanie Baby fight, where we'd pick sides and build like fortresses out of pillows, and just fucking hurl the fuck out of Beanie Babies at each other's heads, like in these fortresses. But the thing about the Beanie Babies is that they have those really
little
hard
beady eyes, dude. They're hard.
they have really, really hard eyes. So it would always get like 10 minutes in, and someone would just go down like, just getting wailed on by a Beanie Baby. Yeah.
Oh man, I would have never thought to play with the Beanie Babies like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. It was a jacked up house. 'Cause you had me, which had like, my parents put me into like sports and like skateboarding, so I had like a Rogan-esque amount of testosterone.
Yeah.
Then you had like a middle brother who was like he was always into like the nerdy fantasy stuff and like books and shit.
Yeah.
And you had the little one who was just like a ticking time bomb of anxiety and frustration, like the most sensitive child.
Yeah.
So it was like the dynamic was always crazy, and it's like I would always be like, what can we do to like just like set some crazy shit off,
Yeah.
and then the middle one's like, we're gonna do like a fight like in castles. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's throw Beanie Babies at each other's heads, and then the little one gets hit, and then it's just like chaos.
He's the one that always like took the brunt of everything.
Kind of, yeah. Well, it would seem that way because he was too. I think he was like too little to be playing on that level, but he'd be there. So like he would get like hurt.
Yeah.
He always got hurt, man.
He wanted to be a part of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
and, yeah.
What's the age difference between you guys?
It's like 3 years for each of us.
Okay, that's like a good age.
Yeah, but when you're like, so that's the thing too. Is like you're 15, you have essentially a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Who like you don't get along. It's just not.
So your dynamic with your youngest brother is kind of like my dynamic with my brother. He's 5 years.
Were you scared of him?
Not.
Or was there just like a?
I felt like we were about the same size for a while.
Right.
So I think that gave. But he like knew how to machine everything like intelligence wise.
Dude,
like,
he was an evil genius.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the worst. Yeah.
And like we got, like I said, we got along well. But whenever for some reason there was always like this like mental block with him, where he would just know how to manipulate everything that I was trying to do.
Okay.
So,
yeah, because he's an evil genius. Because he's like working on gadgets in his room.
Yeah.
He's like the type. He's like plotting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was
Yeah. Like now he's like. I mean, he was then, but he's like the sweetest guy now. But before, like whenever he would be pissed at me, he just knew how to like stop me like in my tracks, dude. It was.
Oh, dude, that's brutal. Yeah, I wasn't. That's a weird dynamic. There was no like cleverness to me. It was just like, let's fucking get in boxes
just
and
full
sprint at each other. Like my brain hadn't caught up to my body in the slightest. There was like just a penis with legs, basically. Just 2 pairs of balls running around.
Man. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but we had some good times.
Yeah.
Feel bad for my parents had to deal with that for sure.
One sec, dude. The dog just farted. I don't know if you smell that.
Oh yeah, he farted bad. Let's not cut this out.
No, we're gonna keep it in.
Yeah, we keep it out. He ripped ass. He does not.
He's aware of it now. We're talking about you.
Yeah, you ripped hard. It smells like eggs, dude. You're a good dog, though. All right.
So you were saying like your mom was having like you feel bad for like having your mom go through that.
Well, yeah, I feel just bad for my parents. I feel bad too for my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, I try to keep up with him now and maintain a good relationship.
Yeah.
Because to me, if somebody was doing what I did to me, I wouldn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But I think from his perspective, it was just like probably so much to deal with.
Yeah, you probably would have welcomed it. I'm like, I'm doing that to you. You do that to me.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like a blast. You know what I mean? Or like I love to like I would enjoy like arguing with people.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's also like you look back on things in retrospect and you're like, I didn't have like a frontal lobe.
Yeah.
And then it's just a sibling rivalry. You know what I mean? And then you talk to other people's families and they're like, oh yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
When like everybody's like 15,
Dude.
16 and like crammed in a house.
Yeah.
There's like no way it's gonna.
There's like you could. Did you share a bedroom with any of them, or you all had like a separate bedroom?
I shared my parents' first house. I shared one with my middle brother.
Okay.
And then once my youngest brother came along, they moved into a different house.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had separate bedrooms, yeah. But I hear horror stories of sharing a bedroom.
Dude, I shared a bedroom with my brother for about 14, 15 years, give or take.
Yeah, it's got like a jail vibe.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And it wasn't a big room either. It's like maybe like a 15 by 15 square foot room or something. Like that sounds too small, but like it wasn't big. And now if I go into that room now, I'm like, how the fuck did we like share this room? But like, you know, when you're smaller, you don't really think. But
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason why we fought so much, though.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just not siblings, and the chemistry is just like not there to not like go at each other.
Yeah.
And the parents are always distraught. Like they have this idea of like,
why can't they just get along?
yeah, that was a constant. You guys always fight. Why can't we just be cool with each other, please? I want you guys to love each other. But it's like, again, I'm like, in high school, I got like one of the most tightly wound 9-year-olds trying to follow me around all the time. It's like, it can't be.
Yeah, no, dude.
You're going to argue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, my brother, my little brother he went through like a lot of like bullying in like middle school and shit too.
Yeah?
You know what I mean? So like, I wish that was my one regret, that like if I had gone back and sort of been able to like empathize and process what that meant as I do now, I would have given him some slack.
Yeah.
But my little brother, he was getting it from all angles. You know what I mean? That poor guy.
Oh, man.
No, he's good now though.
Yeah.
He's got a good job. He bought a motorcycle recently, which I'm like, dude, you put that fucking thing away.
Yeah.
Like, he's so tightly wound.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's like type A.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, we would, like, if he had a granola bar, a banana growing up, and it broke, he'd start screaming.
Really?
Like, what? like screaming. Like somebody had like.
Really? Was he like big into like hardcore music or something like that?
Oh, he's big into hardcore now. Oh, dude, he's wound up.
Yeah.
He's fucking wound. Dude. And then it's me like just wanting to be funny all the time and be a dick because I think it's fun.
Yeah. Well,
it's like egging that personality on. And then also me being kind of tightly wound. It's like, dude, there was no way to.
Oh no, there's no de-escalating that, dude.
No, dude, it would just like go back and forth until it would just boil over.
Oh man.
Constantly. Yeah.
That sounds like so much fun though.
It was kind of a blast. We look back on it now. It was kind of a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're a kid you don't realize this is just dumb or whatever, so you're like, "Oh my god, this is the worst thing ever."
Yeah. It's like people are like, "Be nice to your brothers." You're like,
what?
Fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
This is my arch rival.
This guy is ruining my life right now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh man. You mentioned high school for a minute. Were you like a cool kid or like were you like a dork? Like what kind of kid were you?
I didn't really. I don't know. Went to I wrestled in high school for like 3 years, starting sophomore year through senior year. The wrestling team is weird because it's like all the basketball players are of basketball nature.
Yeah.
And then wrestling is like all the leftover kids of every different weight class.
Yeah.
So you just have like the tiniest kid with like a giant like offensive lineman dude on the same team for whatever reason. So I did that like almost every day. I wrestled.
See,
I'd hang out with them and what's that?
No, you can go ahead.
Oh no, I'd hang out with them and kind of like I didn't really I would hang out with them and kind of hang out with like a weirder side crowd. You know, and then I had like a group of friends that we would just like film comedy sketches.
Oh, so you would like do comedy since you were like really young then?
Yeah, in high school we I never did stand up, but in high school I had a group of friends junior and senior year that all we would do was smoke weed and then like just film like impromptu comedy sketches on like the flip video camera.
Okay.
And they were like really bad, but they were like funny in a bad kind of way.
Yeah.
But that's like all we would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a blast too.
Oh, dude, that was fun. Yeah, those are some of the funnest times I ever had because you just be with your boys filming comedy.
Yeah.
And it's just for you guys. So you think it's the funniest thing
Yeah.
ever. So the whole day would just be like dying laughing.
Yeah.
And what we would do, we'd write out like a premise for a sketch, and then
Mhm.
everybody would riff. Like through the sketch, like a lot of weird, crazy stuff happened.
Yeah.
It was cool though. Yeah.
So what I was gonna say before is like I always noted you had like a little bit of cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
So I always like, did this guy rest? But it's not like noticeable enough to think
Right.
like just bring it up. So okay, I didn't.
No, it definitely is from that. In high school, I wore my headgear mostly, but there were like some summers where I wouldn't wear headgear, and I guess that's what it's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like jujitsu for like a couple of years.
How was that?
Dude, I loved it. Like,
you do?
Yeah, I would still do it, but I had to stop like a few months ago. And so my wife like lost her job at the time, so I just like we had just to cut back on costs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I haven't, but in a way it was also good because I wanted to focus more on comedy. I felt like I was spending too much time on that too.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I got cauliflower ear. It's not very noticeable at all, but I got it once, and my wife drained that thing like 20 or 30 times, and it was so hard just to like get it to stop. So I'm like, I'm wearing headgear every single time. I don't care if I look like a ridiculous
dude, wear your
asswipe.
headgear.
So
I don't know. I guess a lot of these guys wear it as a badge of honor.
yeah,
But it's also like your ears are fucked.
yeah,
Like I don't know why.
dude, they look disgusting. Let's
they
just
look
be
bad.
honest.
Yeah, you gotta drain it. Also too is like high school. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to have cauliflower ear.
Yeah, I want to get laid.
In high school, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I would be short and have cauliflower. Just have the worst ears. Look like an evil hobbit or something from the deep. Yeah, that was it's one of the like the major things that kids had. And then they had to go and they had to like drain it, right?
Yeah.
Just like suck the blood out
Yeah,
if it
suck
gets really
the
bad.
blood out of it, and then you gotta have something to like hold it in so it doesn't happen again.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's a real pain, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta so you rock the headgear. You haven't done jujitsu since?
No, it's been like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I had like a work trip like a month ago maybe, and my brother-in-law he would do jiu-jitsu with me when I lived in Utah.
Okay.
And he would always beat the shit out of me. So, and then I came here and like the school I went to was like a like one of the best teachers or whatever. And I hadn't done anything since then, so I went back. Like we for some reason, you get a bunch of guys in a house together.
Yeah.
They're gonna like do dumb shit.
Oh, for sure.
And
for sure.
like we all started wrestling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I rolled with him for like a little bit, and I actually like was able to do stuff to him that I wasn't able to do before. He still like caught me in a headlock, but before like I wouldn't even be able to pass his guard. I don't know if you understand the like the
Yeah, I've seen it a couple.
Yeah.
I kind of understand what you're talking about.
So like I was like doing that, and then for some reason he's just like hammers into my head and just didn't let go, and I'm like, fuck. I was actually like,
Yeah, you almost had it.
yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm actually doing shit now.
That's the fun part about the sports like that. You kind of get moments where you're like, I'm doing it, and then you're just like in the air.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, I'm not doing it. This is bad.
Yeah.
I'm in tights in front of my whole high school,
Yeah.
getting body slammed right now. It's like getting absolutely destroyed.
Oh man.
Yeah, those were good times. But yeah, high school, like it was mostly that. Like
Yeah.
I only.
Seems like you got along with everybody though.
Yeah, but I didn't really like know people that much.
Mm.
It was like I would do wrestling and then I would just like try to be funny.
Mm.
And then I did as much schoolwork as I needed to like get out.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. So I'd like know people from different cliques.
Okay.
But yeah, I only had like probably junior and senior year I had a crew.
Mm-hmm.
Before that I hung out with like stoner kids because I thought they were more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But they used to call me a narc a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you narc on them or?
No. So the weird thing about being called a narc is like you're like, I didn't do this.
Yeah. Why are you?
Well, you got caught by the principal because you smell like weed, and adults aren't stupid. You're 13 and you came into class fucking high as shit. It's not me, dude.
Yeah, that is your fault.
It's clearly you, dude. Yeah.
Oh man, it's being called a narc. That seems like that seems like offensive to me. I don't know.
It is. It's supposed to be offensive. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're trying to tell me I sold you out.
Yeah.
For no reason. You're trying to call me a dork. It's like, I'm just standing here. Like, I don't know. I have nobody to eat with at lunch.
Yeah.
I'm not a narc, dude. You just...
Fucking everybody shunned me out because you called me a narc, bitch.
Yeah. Everybody kicked me out now. I got nobody because you accused me of some shit. Yeah, is it possible that you have a half a pound of weed in your book bag and nothing to cover the smell? Is that possible?
Yeah.
You dumb fuck. Dumbass. Gonna go to fucking rehab in Utah senior year, asshole. Call me a narc, dude. Yeah, you're going hiking, buddy. You're going hiking. They're getting you at 4 a.m. You're getting kidnapped to go hiking. That's what you're doing. I'm not a fucking narc. Want to smoke weed at lunch? No, it makes me paranoid.
Yeah.
You a narc? No, I can just wait till after school, like a decent person. Fucking cocksuckers. Fucking losers, man.
Oh man. Do you still smoke weed or not?
Hell no, dude. I detest it.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
I'll have like 3 hits.
Dude, that thing puts me to sleep. That's all it does.
That's good. At least it's just sleep.
Yeah, but like I don't want to go to sleep though.
That's the tough part about weed. Like, I don't want to be like this, damn it. That's how I feel every time I smoke weed now.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, shit. It's like, I'm an adult.
Mhm.
Like, when I was in high school, it was fun because it was like, I just have to worry about my parents catching me. And it was like fun to like sneak around in the basement and then just play Halo with your buddies. Like, that was the requirement of the night.
Dude, and it was the best.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm 32. I'm barely making bills.
Yeah.
This is just in my way. Like, every single day I have something to do.
Yeah.
And if I'm stoned, it just is inconveniencing me.
Yeah.
'Cause you just made it like 25% more difficult.
Yeah.
And some people say it helps them a lot. I don't
How?
have that.
I don't know how, dude.
I don't know, dude. I think it's a personality type.
Yeah.
I think really jacked up people like it because it'll like pull them down a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
man.
like, dude, it puts me off in space. Like, it's too much.
I could see that. So when you were done with high school, like, what was your what did you do right after high school?
I went to Appalachian State College for 2 years. Dropped out, made pizzas for a long time.
Is that college still in North Carolina?
Yeah, it's in Boone, North Carolina.
Okay.
Appalachian Mountains. You know,
How far was that from Raleigh?
like 3.5 hours.
Okay, so you did get to experience like living far from home.
Yeah, it was I went to when I got to college, I was 17.
Oh, dude, you got out of school really young.
Well, yeah, I was just young for my grade.
Okay, what's your birthday?
August 30th.
August 30th. I don't know how like the American system works in terms of like holding you back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like putting you forward.
What's the
like,
Costa Rican system?
Like I was born in November 20th, right?
Okay.
And that is like I'm too young to be put in one grade, so they held me back a little bit.
Okay.
To be in the next grade, cause.
Right. So they held you. Like at my school, they gave me an option whether or not I wanted to.
They gave you the option, or your parents?
No, they gave my parents.
Okay. Did you decide?
My parents asked me.
Really?
In like kindergarten.
That's a big decision to make.
Well, yeah, but it's also like, I don't think, I'm trying to understand what they thought of, like, because I wasn't in school yet. So they were just like, do you want to go this year or the
Mhm.
next year?
Okay.
And I was like, I'll just go now.
That's kind of cool that they put that on your shoulders, though.
Right. Yeah, it was cool, but it was also like I didn't realize what was on my shoulders, and I don't
Oh.
think it made a massive
Change or anything.
I mean, I guess it did because, like, all the friends that I met, you know what I mean, and all those people that I met, it's a big reason, like, why my life is the way it is. You know,
Mhm.
that was, like, people I met during a founding time of my life. But at the moment, it was just, like, I remember bringing a brief thing where they're like, you're right on the dates. You can do this or do that. You know, do you have any? And I was just like, I'll just go now. You know what I mean? I guess they had already like talked about it too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, cause it like before you get there, it's not a huge thing.
Mhm.
It'd be a big thing if they were like, you spend a year or two with these kids, you got to stay back.
Yeah.
That was like that would be a bigger deal. But I had
Yeah.
no knowledge of anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like right from the get go. So it's like,
No, it was right off the bat.
that's
Like first time going to
that's
school.
pretty cool.
Yeah. What's Costa Rica schools like?
So
What do you guys learn down there?
we actually well, I went to like a British private school.
Okay.
So
Well, I had a fantasy you didn't learn much. Like island school, you know. That was my fantasy. They're like, yes, we do whatever down here. What is a book? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like Costa Rican
Yeah.
school, they're like, this
Yeah.
is a fruit.
yeah,
This is a fish. Here's a net. You catch it. Then we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat lunch for 2 hours.
that sounds even better than
That
what I
sounds
did.
fucking sick.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
I would have loved to do that. So Costa Rican schools, they're like a year, like, you know how here the summer is like the year, I mean where the school year ends.
Mm-hmm.
Over there, the school year ends in like November/December. So it's like it goes with the year instead of doing like the season.
Summer, winter break. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of throws things off in like not in Costa Rica, but like for like with here, like let's say I'm trying to explain too much that doesn't. Anyway, so that kind of changes a little bit in terms of like age sort of deal.
Yeah.
But in terms of like school, like we learned I don't know how it is in like the public schools or stuff like that, but where I went, we did like like world history and stuff like that instead of just focusing on. I hated Costa Rica like specific subjects for some reason. Those were the subjects that I sucked at. Like social studies was just like basically Costa Rica history and stuff like that. I sucked at that. And then like Spanish class, I sucked at that too.
Right.
And
you couldn't speak Spanish?
So I do, but I was really bad at it though.
Right.
I think so.
That's always a tough one.
Yeah.
You're bad at the language the country speaks.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah, dude, I was horrible at it.
It's like the one thing they speak.
So my school was like so it was a British school, so everything was speaking English except for Spanish class and social studies.
Right.
And those were my worst subjects, which is, I don't know. There was like in 8th grade, I had like an 8 or 9 F like streak of just of like just. And honestly, the only like I would have solved it by studying, but I hated the subject so much, and I think the teacher didn't like me either, so that didn't help.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So
boy, I had a few classes like that. I tell you what.
Yeah. So what's interesting is that my mom got me a tutor, and the tutor was a teacher at the school, and then they gave us the option to do so it's called International Baccalaureate or whatever, which is like to do 12th grade, and then it was kind of like a program so you can like
accelerate learning and moving through the grades.
Yeah, not necessarily that, but like a program to get you to be able to apply to like colleges all throughout the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't care about that. I didn't really care about school that much. So I didn't want to do it. And I told my mom, she was fine with it, but that same teacher that was the tutor, she's like, hey, he's gonna be doing the same stuff that he sucked at and he failed, and I had to, tutor him so he wouldn't fail the grade.
Right.
He's not gonna do well. And my mom the next day just like did not talk to me until I just decided to go back to that program, dude. I was really pissed off at her because I was like, man, what the fuck, man? I don't want to do an extra year of school.
Right.
But
so she just she just ghosted you till you went back?
yeah, basically,
that's
dude.
Such a mom move.
Yeah.
But she hit you with the guilt too.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Oh my god.
My mom never was mad. Like there were like 2 times in my life that she was mad at me. That was one of them.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Only twice?
Yeah.
You were well behaved, right?
I was well behaved, but I also knew how to get away with it.
Were you melancholic? Sad with a distant look in your eyes? I could see you being kind of one of those kids. You know what I mean? Like at the corner of the playground, like just looking at a ball. Just like what's up with Hal? I don't know.
At one point, I think I was, but for the most part, I was like a happy kid.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and then the other time that she was really mad at me was she had gotten like a hysterectomy, like some woman surgery.
Yeah.
And
she got one of those woman surgeries they get. The fucking hysterectomy or whatever.
Dude, and I got like really drunk when she was like in the hospital.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
I want to keep going on this. This is
So I got super drunk. A buddy of mine and I went to like an open bar party. We got like fucking hammered, dude. Like, when you're young, you're like, like, let's see how many beers we can drink. Whoever.
Right. That's the disaster. Is when you're young. Sometimes you drink, you wind up getting drunk.
Yeah.
That's the problem I would have.
Yeah.
But then there'd be certain. Because a lot of it was like you go out, you're young, you're like, I'm going to have 2.
Yeah.
10 later, you're like, I'm hammered. There were certain nights where you go out with the intention.
Yeah.
Where you're like, we're going to party.
Yeah.
And that's like an hour in. Everybody's just gone.
Just like gone, dude.
Yeah.
So I had like, I was a very big lightweight. I had like 8 beers.
That'll do it though.
Yeah.
Spinning and
dude,
doubles.
It was horrible. So my dad and my uncle picked us up from the party, and I could not hear anything at the same time. Like I was really drunk, but I also couldn't hear. So they were asking us stuff, and I was like just trying to seem like a sober kid.
You were trying to act sober during this.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was
so
like,
you're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
You clearly smelled like booze.
Yeah.
You're destroyed, hammered, just agreeing to everything.
Yeah. I'm like, and I remember that they said something. And I was like, oh, and it was not a sort of answer. So that's when they, like, just my dad, like, when we got home, he's like, hey, you're drunk and whatever, like, kind of scolding me. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm kind of in trouble right now, but my mom's not here. I think I'll be good. He, of course, told my mom. So when she gets back from the hospital, she's like, I know what you did. I'm like, oh, fuck. So she's like, okay, you're grounded.
Right.
I'm like, I'd never been grounded in my life because the way I see it is you're the guinea pig, right? So my siblings got in all the trouble. I saw what they were doing, so I kind of like figured out.
This is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
This is the first time you get in the slammer.
Yeah. First time in the slammer, dude.
Yeah, the older siblings, they're all just felons.
Yeah.
They're all just out in the streets smoking cigarettes and bench pressing. You're back inside like, oh my God, people are out here gangbanging and stuff.
Yeah.
You finally you went out for one little robbery. You got slapped.
I got slapped right away,
oh,
dude.
my God.
So my mom grounded me for like a month, and I was like, God damn it, dude. That was like, I really tried not to make her mad just because I saw how my other siblings would do it.
Yeah.
So I just like, okay, don't do that. And then just do it, just not when they're around,
Right.
So didn't work so well that time.
No, that's the problem with drinking is I had a few moments like that in high school. Because I smoked a lot of weed in high school because I was wrestling, and weed doesn't make you gain weight.
Yeah.
So all the wrestlers are potheads. And there's like a couple times I got drunk and just got pretty much just straight up caught because it's a thing. With weed, you're like hyper aware.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like sneaking up the steps when a sober person would just walk up them.
Yeah.
But you kind of get away with it because you're like sneaky. When you're drunk,
there's none of that.
There's none of that like cognitive thing of like, I shouldn't be like this right now. I came back. I got hammered at a party once. My buddy drives me back. My parents had already caught me smoking weed, so they didn't know that I was drinking. And I only drank like 4 times in high school because of wrestling.
Yeah.
So like this was one of the times, and I come back and I'm absolutely blitzed, hammered, and my dad, through my parents' front door down the hallway, you can see the couch. We had like a lounge couch on the far wall in the living room, but you can see that like half of the couch. My dad's laying down on it, watching TV, and he looks at me, and I walk in, and then I'm trying to act natural, and I grabbed a side table in the hallway and held onto it while I slowly slipped my own shoes off. And then I walked straight up to my dad, like slowly, while he's watching me. Just walk up to him.
What the hell is going on?
And I look straight at him while he's laying down. And I just go, I'm home now. And I just walked upstairs. And he sent my mom upstairs to figure out, I think if I was stoned.
Yeah.
But I was drunk, and I just like, was washing my face, trying to, and when she came up, what I was doing was missing my face and scooping water with my hands and pouring it all down the front of my shirt. So the front of my shirt was soaked, and I was just like, and she just started asking me questions. If I, like, what did I do? Have I been smoking weed? Blah, blah, blah. And I just, like, denied all of it, and they kind of didn't say anything. But I know that they knew I was on something.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for them was, like, just do not drive. Yeah. And I also think they knew kind of, like, if I was wrestling a lot, I wouldn't be drinking a lot. But they were just like, just don't get behind the wheel of a car. I got hammered. The first time I got hammered was before like one of the winter formal dances. And I used to be a really sweaty kid in high school. I don't know why. I had a terrible armpit sweat. Yeah. The whole time.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a thing I had that I was like super, I guess I had so much like muscle. I don't know what it was. Like I don't sweat like that now. Yeah. But in high school, it would be like patches of armpit sweat, like the whole time. Nothing else, just my armpits.
Really?
Yeah, it'd be bad. And it wasn't that noticeable. And then like senior year, it was bad. Anyways, because we would like, I went to a Catholic school, so they'd have us wear white shirts. Then senior year, you could wear whatever color button-up shirt you wanted. And that's when it was like you could see it through the blue.
Oh, no.
So I spent a lot of high school with my arms.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just like, you know, I would do this a lot. Yeah, you know, just hiding armpit sweat.
I'm cool, bro.
Yeah, I'm cool, dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
Can't scratch my head really ever, but this is fine right now. But we're at the winter. We're going to the winter formal. It's like freshman or sophomore year. And someone pulls out like a thing of vodka, and we get like absolutely blasted, like falling over in this dude's yard, like screaming, laughing type blasted. And this chick's dad drives us to the dance. She got in trouble later because he could just smell the booze.
Oh, shit.
Because it was like a bunch of kids who had slammed a bunch of vodka just get in the car. And he's an adult just driving drunk, like 14, 15-year-olds.
Oh, shit, dude.
To the dance. So she got in trouble later. I remember at the dance, I was super drunk, and I thought there was a girl that I knew. So I walked up to her, and I kind of danced up. I was like, eh. I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, Janet, what's up? And she turns around. She's like, and it wasn't Janet. And she's like, I'm not Janet. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. And went to, like, dance away and slipped.
Oh, no.
Like, on sweat or something in, like, full feet in the air like straight onto my back.
Oh,
and everyone
shit,
just
dude.
goes, "Oh!" and like just like turns around. I just had to get up and just like walked up. Like, fuck, I can't be drunk like this at school functions anymore. Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Drinking
funny.
stories are the best, man.
Dude.
Especially when your parents catch you. It's such a glorious moment.
Oh man.
Especially like 15, 20 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a blast.
Oh, dude, they're the funniest stories. So I mostly drank in high school. I didn't
Right.
do like any drugs or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I like the first time I smoked weed was when I was like 18 or something like that.
That's a proper age.
Yeah. Like,
Well, I don't know if there's any, but it's better than like.
yeah, I guess. But one time, like I went to this like party, like I don't know if it was a birthday party or whatever it was, but dude, I got hammered, like
Yeah.
really hammered.
Hell yeah.
And I went to bed. I woke up on the foot of my parents' bed, like on the bed.
You dude.
They were sleeping. I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? So I just ran away to my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I never talked about it or anything, but they had to know, dude, like, hey, this idiot is sleeping at our bed. I never.
Your dad woke up
Yeah.
and there's like a teenage boy sleeping on the foot of the bed like a dog. And he's like, Jesus Christ. He probably woke up and had a moment, was like, am I going to air him out about this? Or are we just going to let it go because he's
Yeah.
home and he's safe?
Yeah.
It's just like, let it go, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think that's what happened. It never got brought up. So.
Right. Yeah, there's a couple things with my parents that just didn't get brought up at all. I got caught smoking green tea. That was a big one. It was before I smoked weed. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna smoke green tea.
Yeah.
Tea is green.
Yeah.
Weed is green. I'm in like 8th grade. Yeah, dude. Because I was hanging out with like a bunch of fucking like burnout like skateboard kids.
Mhm.
And they were like, it's weed, man. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, tea is, I can kind of get into
Yeah.
that via the same color,
Yeah.
you know. And we went on a field trip to this place called Linville Gorge, and they sold corncob pipes.
Mm-hmm.
So I packed it into this corncob pipe, and I would like smoke green tea out of my bathroom window.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize was that for whatever reason, and I'm not making this up, the smell of the resin of green tea
Mhm.
and the corn cob smelled almost exactly like weed.
Really?
Like the not the smoke itself, but the resin
Okay.
in the bowl
Okay.
was.
So when you were done, it was like, oh, you guys smoked weed.
Yeah, it smelled like weed in my room, and I just put the pipe in a guitar case.
Oh shit.
And my room just reeked of the smell, and I tried to clean it out with like Q-tips and shit.
Mm.
And then my mom came up and was like, what the hell? She's like, Chris. It's my dad. And my dad like grabs me and like yanks me out into the fucking garage because he finds the pipe
Yeah.
and all this and the Q-tips that I used to clean it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, who gave you this? He's like freaking the fuck out.
Oh no.
He's like trying to find the drug dealer that gave me this. And I was like, I got it in the house. And he's like, don't you fucking lie to me. I'm like, dude, I got it in the house. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, that's not weed, dude. That's green tea. And he like was like, you could tell there was a weird feeling of relief and just disappointment. Where it was like, oh, my son's not a drug addict. Like, he is a dumbass.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, look. And I went into the pantry and I showed him the green tea ripped open with the matches I had, like, stuffed in it. He's just like, oh, and, like, I got in trouble for that. They put, like, alarms on the windows because they didn't want me to, like, sneak out anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They had you on house arrest.
Well, it was a chime. It wasn't an alarm.
Okay.
It was like one of those door beeps, which
Mhm.
beep boop, and it would like beep
yeah.
in my parents' room, so they'd like know if I was like you're running away. Yeah, basically Andrew Tate style house arrest. I was out in fucking Romania just making videos.
Oh man.
Yeah, they. There was one time my parents were at a party across the street, and my buddy wanted to smoke weed out back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want to smoke weed out back because I don't want them to smell it if they happen to come home.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes, he's like, well, we can like cook the peanut butter, but we could cook it in peanut butter.
Okay.
And I was like, because if you cook it in peanut butter, actually, the fats in the peanut butter, when they get hot, they bind with THC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's something about dairy and certain fats that when they get hot, they bind with THC, which is how edibles are made. So he's like, well, cook it in peanut butter, we can eat it.
Mm.
It won't even smell. I'm like, well, I don't want to cook it in the oven because it's going to reek. And my other friend just goes, what if we microwave the peanut butter, and then while it's hot, we mix it in?
Okay.
That way it won't smell. And we're like, yeah, that's a good idea. And he goes, all right, I got this. And he goes upstairs, puts the peanut butter in the microwave, I guess. That's what we had entrusted him to do. And 10 minutes later, he runs downstairs with a bowl of peanut butter that's on fire. And he's like, fuck, dude, fuck. And we like blow it out, and there's just a black charred spot in the middle of the bowl of peanut butter.
That was the weed?
No, it was just peanut butter because he had put the peanut butter in the microwave for 10 minutes and didn't stir it.
Oh, no.
So it just like fucking radiated this peanut butter and lit it on fire. And we went upstairs, and the whole house is filled with fucking peanut butter smoke.
Oh, shit.
So like we're like airing out the house trying to get this peanut butter smoke, and my buddy's downstairs like mixing weed into this burnt peanut butter to try to get it to fucking like work. And my parents came home right after we had aired out the whole place.
Oh, shit.
And my dad was like, what the fuck were you doing? And I was like, we were making toast, peanut butter toast, man. And he's like, why does it smell like fucking peanut butter? And I was like, it smells like peanut butter because we made the toast with the peanut butter on it. And then we burnt it. He's like, who makes toast with fucking peanut butter already on it? And he was super pissed. He didn't know what the fuck we were doing. But we like hid the weed bowl in a side room in the basement and then like ate it all. Didn't work at all. And then I like had to go out. I stuffed it in a lawnmower bag and then went out to mow the lawn the next day, and I just chucked the peanut butter bowl like deep into the woods. Like it's like, get rid of the evidence. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds like so much. You had a great childhood, man.
Yeah, we had a blast for sure. I'm trying to keep the plane up. I want to be the dude that like is like 40 and just like at a open mic, just like middle school is the shit, man. That would be the saddest guy. He's a short, bald guy at middle school talking about high school and shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we got new adventures, man.
That's when you were in college, what were you majoring in?
Fuck. I did like business then English.
Yeah.
The two majors of a guy that does not know what he wants to do. Where it's just like business.
Yeah.
What kind of business? You're like, any business. You know, the relative idea of a business.
Yeah.
Of, you know.
I can do any business that
Like,
I want.
yeah, I can do this business or that business.
And English, which one did you like the most?
I liked English.
Yeah.
But I was a bad student.
Yeah.
That's when it all started to like kind of spiral.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was one of a classic story of like I wasn't so sheltered that I couldn't handle myself when I was partying.
Yeah.
But once they let it loose and it like became serious.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be serious at all. It was like, you got about 2 years of this, big guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, dude, I think college is when like you should just let loose, man.
You should, but I also like, from my perspective, I like established no discipline or ability. My girlfriend like has really bad ADHD, and she claims I have it too. And she was like going through symptoms with it with me, and I'm like, oh, that makes like a lot of sense. Yeah, she's like, you ever in class and you like really want to pay attention, and then all of a sudden it's like 15 minutes later and you have no idea what the teacher said? I was like, yeah. She's like, that's like ADHD.
Oh, really?
Where it's like you're just like daydreaming, you can't control your brain or like organize anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for a long time I was like, I thought I was just like a huge dick, but I think it was that. Where like I had that, I didn't know how to manage it. Not as an excuse. Like I definitely could have tried to do something about it, but I remember
just like
remember specifically like not remembering or being able to keep up with anything in class. That's like a big thing where you just show up and they're like, we're doing the book report. And you're like, what book report? They're like, no, you got to do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And you're like, well, we're riffing, baby. Let's fucking pull some shit out of your ass. Got any short people in the audience? Just like really ripping it. Really, we're riffing, dude. I'm trying to make it through. Yeah, in high school, you can kind of do that. In college, you can't keep it up.
No, you need to be serious about that.
I think, what should be done, they do this in Europe, but I think what should be done is you take a kid out of high school, put them in the workforce for like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Of like a job that's not that great. Like make them work construction or just work at Subway. So that when they go to college, they have in their mind like, oh, I'm getting up and out of something.
I don't want to do that.
Exactly. So like I went to college and it was like, dude, I was like a little kid. 17 is not an adult.
Yeah.
You put me in an adult place with adult consequences and everybody's going. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just do this. But like, I don't know why the fuck I didn't really have any interest in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I find it interesting when people that are young and then they already know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because it took me a long time to figure out, it took me, like, I realized I don't want to do that.
Right.
But, like, actually knowing what you want to do is.
Right. But that's like, dude, that's like 10 people.
Yeah.
And then you hear about them later because they're like hyper successful. And then they just go on a podcast and they're like, when I was 11, I found my love for chemistry. And you're like, dude, you're weird.
Yeah.
That's like a lunatic. It's like, I loved physics
You're a serial killer, aren't you?
Yeah, I loved physics at an early age. Like, you have a problem or something. Most people aren't like that, man. Most people are just bouncing from thing to thing. Like, I hate this, try a different thing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate this too, you know?
And when you went to make pizzas, was that in North Carolina?
That was in the college town. So
Okay.
I, like, dropped out and lived up there for a while, working at a pizza place.
How was that?
Fucking, it was honestly, it was like a lot of fun, but it was
Is that pizza hat you wear every once in a while? Oh no, that's a mini golf. Never mind.
no, I wear the represent Peter Pan mini golf.
Yeah.
The greatest mini golf course in the country.
Where is that?
That's on Barton Springs Road.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like literally, it's a BYOB mini golf course.
Really?
So it like, there's like children around and you can just be like slamming drinks.
Really?
Yeah. And it's called Peter Pan Mini Golf. They play 70s rock out of giant speakers and they just have paper mache, like really cheesy,
like
golf course, like designs.
Yeah, like
and
the
stuff on
design.
the golf course.
That sounds great.
No, it's great. They don't monitor anything that's happening there. So, like, you can just pay for one round and just play as many as you want. Because the people that work there are, like, nerds that are, like, super jaded.
Yeah.
They don't give it shit.
Yeah.
They're in, like, an air-conditioned little hut. They're not coming out, dude.
Yeah.
So you just pretty much have carte blanche there.
Okay.
There's, like, a no smoking rule, but you can just smoke cigarettes. And it's a great time.
Sounds like a good spot, and then just kids can hang out there.
Yeah, people bring their kids and stuff, and I mean, don't get too like belligerent. Like, don't get in a fight at a mini golf course. Even as funny as that would be,
Yeah.
don't get like belligerent like that.
Yeah, they will kick you out for that.
I don't know. I've never seen anybody get in a fight. I'm just saying, you just don't.
Yeah, just keep it.
Just
it
be
nice.
cool.
Okay.
I've never not lost my shit playing mini golf. I get so fucking mad every time.
It's a hard thing to do, man.
Yeah, well, it's like it's the hardest part of golf played inside of like a weird maze.
Yeah.
And it's just infuriating. But then you flip out and you have to sit there and realize that like you're like sweating and screaming, holding like a children's putter and a pink ball. And it's fucking humiliating. Really, what bothers me is my girlfriend has like no respect for the game.
Oh, really?
She doesn't give a shit. It's like, dude, this is kind of like serious at a certain level. Like, it's a game. I came here to play.
Yeah, I want to win.
I want to win. I want some competition. She doesn't hold the putter right. Women, for some reason, cannot hold putters unless they like train to play golf.
Yeah.
But she's like, this is. You ever give like a woman a a mini golf putter?
Actually, no.
Or they like hit it like they're like holding it like upside down.
Yeah.
They like hit it like the thing's turned, and then they'll just smack the ball too hard, like go into the.
Yeah.
It's
Going into the trap.
yeah. It's just like if you have any amount of temper, it's like 2 holes in, you just start. And you got a buddy there who's like crushing it effortlessly and talking shit to you.
Yeah, you're like,
It's
dude, I
you-
want to beat this guy.
Yeah, and you're trying to like help your girlfriend out, like keep it cool.
Yeah.
There's like children around. He's just whispering in your ear, like, "Oh, you see that? I'm a fucking. I guess I got 2 on that last hole. What'd you get? Like you got a 6? Got a 6, buddy? I don't know.
Oh,
Guess
man.
you need a little work. Guess you need a little work on this. Then eventually you're just breaking down. I want people to respect the game. Everybody comes out, they don't take it seriously. Everybody wants a redo shot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, pizza, man. Pizza's fun.
How long did you do the pizza stuff?
Like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was I mean, you must have had fun if you hung out there for a while.
Yeah, well, it's like when you're in your 20s, that's kind of like the job.
Yeah.
You get to work in a kitchen with a bunch of people, and then you can like go out afterwards and just party.
Were you at the job while you were in college, or was it like you
No,
dropped
it was
out?
like right after I got
Okay.
out, and I was living up there. Yeah. So I got like I lived up there through the summer with my buddy in the apartment. And then I ended up getting the job to like pay rent through summer.
Okay.
And then kind of when I ended up not going back after like a short stint, I just went back to it. Yeah.
Were you already like contemplating like doing stand up at the time, or?
No, I think it was I worked at the same restaurant in Raleigh when I moved back, and then the employees there started like poking at me and pressuring me to go do it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "You're really funny. You should go try this." And then I like tried it, ate my dick the first time, and then I ran the light because I didn't know where it was supposed to be, and they played music on me.
Oh shit.
To get off while I was bombing, and the host and the next comic made fun of me
Oh no.
because my demeanor at the time was like so depressed because I was in like such a rough
Yeah.
place, you know what I mean? That like I was like, fuck this, I'm not going back. And then they pressured me again like a year later.
Oh, so it was
And then
that bad? Like
then
you're
I-
like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, well, here's the exact story was I was like, I'm finally gonna try this. I get to the open mic, there's already a list put out, and then like a bunch of like lottery slots, and I'm so nervous I'm just getting drunk with my friend.
Okay.
And they were doing construction on the main room, so they were doing it down at the bar area. And the light was like a lady's cell phone in the back. I didn't even know what like a light was.
Yeah.
You know, and the third spot on the list was a lottery pull. And they pulled a guy's name and he wasn't there. And I'm like, oh, good. And they pulled it and it was mine.
Oh no.
And I had to go up and I got like very tepid laughter.
Okay.
I had I had the classic like hacky joke prepared about like losing my virginity is stand up like comedy or whatever, and there was like meh. And then I just kept just talking and just bombing, and then I just like the dude came out, or they like played music on me.
How much time did they give
It was
you?
like 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay.
Yeah. When did you start?
Dude, so I started a while back. Like I was 26.
Right.
And so I was at I met Teresa at a retreat, like a yoga retreat in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah, you did. I know what you're into, bro. I bet you did. But you meet a lot of ladies at yoga retreats. Just doing jujitsu down in Costa Rica. If it ever gets lonely, you just hit the yoga retreat.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, chicks like yoga, dude.
Dude, they love it.
Yeah. So I was there, and they for some reason there was like a performance night. I didn't have anything, and at that retreat they were like, you should do stand up. I'm like, what? And they're like, no, you should do stand up. So I'm thinking about this performance thing the whole week. I'm there a week, And I'm like, what the fuck am I?
So they had a performance that everybody was gonna do.
Yeah, everybody's gonna do 5 minutes of something.
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 Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I've never done stand up. Like, I always was terrified of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll do that, but I have nothing prepared.
No, dude. How much time do you have to prepare?
5 minutes.
Yeah, but like how
Oh,
much?
like
How much time in between the suggestion to the set?
So about a week.
Dude, that's not.
No, that's nothing.
That's so.
Yeah.
Shows how little people know about it, really.
Oh,
They're
dude.
like, we're going to give you a 5-minute set. You
Yeah.
got like a week. You never done it before, but
Yeah.
you should try it.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that, but I have no material. So I went up, and for like 2.5 minutes, it was going well. Like, people were laughing, and then but that was like the beginning, and then the last 2.5 minutes, just crickets, dude. I was just finding ways to like. Dude, I sat on a guy's lap just to see if that would get a laugh.
Oh, baby. Did it work?
No, it did not.
Oh, no. It gets physical.
Yeah.
Dude,
So-
when you sit in a man's lap in the crowd and it bombs, you're in a tough place.
yeah, dude, I was like, oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I got nowhere to go now.
Oh, man, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah,
That's
so.
Bill Burr would say. Fucking brutal.
Yeah, man.
Sat in a guy's lap. Yeah, no one was laughing. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, man. So after that, I'm like, okay, I think I might be able to do this. Like, it went okay for the first half.
Yeah.
But I didn't try it for like 5-6 months or so.
Right.
After that.
Yeah, I think that happened to Louis too.
Yeah.
Louis was like
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I'm like Louis, dude.
Yeah, that's what we all tell ourselves. There's nothing like bombing for 3 weeks straight in an open mic, being 8 years in and just being like, it took Louis 15 years. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it takes people a long time.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, but no, it happens to people. Like, a lot of people go, they just eat shit, and they're like, I can never.
Yeah.
But it worms its way back in.
Yeah, dude, I still thought about it. I'm like, I want to do it again. It's just like, I got to get up there, though. So.
Yeah, we got to go to a place where it's conducive.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like people that don't, and not even to sound pretentious, but people that don't know how much goes into it or what it is, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They really love to, like, suggest shows.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, we're having a work meeting.
Yeah.
You want to do some jokes at the beginning of the work meeting? You're like, this is not the way to do this.
Not the spot, man.
It's like, nah, you're funny, and we'll just goof around a little.
Yeah.
Talk about the boss. We need like 10 minutes. 10 minutes of.
Oh shit. Let me silence that. Sorry about that.
Silence that. Zelda fan?
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me I haven't been recording this whole time.
We get the audio though,
I got
right?
the audio. Fuck me, man.
Dude, it's all good. We'll just run it as audio only.
Okay. We'll take a picture and just slam it in there.
Yeah, take a picture.
Oh man.
No, you're good, dude.
Fuck. So anyway, well, yeah, big Zelda fan.
We're fine. I don't think people really watch podcasts to be like,
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
true.
watch them sit there.
Yeah.
They watch it for the audio, right?
Yeah. That's
You
pretty
know?
much. So yeah, big Zelda fan. I got a tattoo.
Yeah, Triforce, man.
Yeah. Did you play Zelda?
Dude, I think Ocarina of Time is the greatest video game achievement to ever exist.
I agree. That's my favorite game of all time.
No, it's my favorite. It's the only game I think it's the only video game I've ever actually like beaten all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And I've beaten it like 20 times.
Whoa. Okay.
Like
did you like complete it 100%?
Yeah, my uncle when we were younger, the N64 came out, my uncle bought me and my brothers one, and then he bought us Ocarina of Time and the strategy guide.
Okay.
So I guess the family got together. They were like, we're going to get an N64. I think my uncle got that game in the strategy guide when it
Mm-hmm.
came out. And so when I was little, I played through it reading the strategy guide.
Okay.
And so now it's just like burned into my memory.
Okay.
Like how to like beat the game. I
Yeah.
think I have a couple issues in the Shadow Temple.
Yeah. That was a hard temple.
The water one is
That's
to all the nerds out there. Water temple. What's with it? Am I right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with the water temple?
Dude, they really wanted to complicate that one. Like, what, you gotta lower and raise the levels of the water just to get through this goddamn
It's a
thing?
pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
And there's like always, every time I play through it, there's like one key that I can't remember how to get.
Yeah.
And it's not the same one.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you go back to the water temple and you're like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
This is fucked. I can't remember how to get there. But that was the beauty of old Nintendo, is they really didn't hold your hand.
Oh, they made you work for every single thing, dude.
Yeah, but that made the game great. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of new games are like, they'll put a marker and they're like, go here. And
Mhm.
it gets like, it's not as rewarding.
No, dude, because it's like, just go there, you get there, and like, there's no payoff before you have to like figure everything out, and then actually, learn to get like, oh, is this the place I gotta go to after like 2 hours of like roaming around figuring something out? So
Yeah, my girlfriend has a Switch. She's been playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Mhm.
I played a little bit of it, but even like the more modern ones, I haven't really finished them. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just like, it's not. She's 25, and so like her first Zelda game was, I think,
Wind Waker,
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess. Okay.
And that was the big one where she found it. So that's like her favorite one.
Yeah.
But it's like the people that don't understand what Ocarina of Time did
Mm-hmm.
and what it was like when
Yeah.
it came out. I mean, I'm playing that when I'm like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest game ever made.
Yeah.
It's perfect, dude.
There's
From the moment you turn it on, you're like, this is.
Dude, just the intro scene is amazing. Like, I remember I almost teared up watching that thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just the intro.
No, it's just the intro, and it just like immediately, as soon as the Nintendo thing spins and the music starts and it fades in, you're like, this is about to be a banger.
Yeah.
And even in a testament to how good it still is, in college, my buddy had never played it. And I was like, you need to play this. And so he got an N64 and he got a copy of it. And I watched him play it at like 19 years old all the way through. And when he got done, he was like, that was one of the greatest things I've ever fucking played.
Yeah.
So we had the N64 in there with like Super Smash Bros. And shit. I was like, if you haven't played that game, play it. And he played it all the way through. And it's like an adult that was like, or someone who's on his way to being an adult, just like, this is the greatest thing ever.
And he's like, dude, thank you for putting me through that.
Yeah, I don't know if you said that. It would have been nice. Yeah.
Dude, I just did you a solid,
I did you a huge lifetime solid. You'll never forget that. Because what we were playing back then, I have a disdain for this game series now, but just Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It was just, dude, it was bros, bongs, just playing Call of Duty and FIFA.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just not. It's not up to par in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could, I don't know, describe it better how good it is. But it's, I don't know. It's fucking perfect.
Dude, nothing we say is going to do it justice because you got to play it. But the problem is anybody that plays it now, they'll just focus on the graphics. And they'll be like, it looks like shit. You don't understand how pretty this was back in the day. Like, nothing looked like that.
Right. And also, like, there's a lot of games with good graphics that look way worse. Because the thing about that game is they understood aesthetics. So they're like, we don't have a lot of graphic power, but we need to make this thing feel and sound and be completely cohesive. Like, there's not one thing in that game that doesn't feel like it belongs in that game.
Yeah.
Every single thing is, like, perfectly placed and timed.
And super thoughtful.
Right.
It's very few things are made like that anymore.
No, they're not. Yeah. Do this fucking old guy rant. Back again. The fucking grill. Just two guys in a house in Buda. They don't make shit like they don't. Even the new ones are like not the same.
Yeah. I played a little bit of like from the new one, and I really enjoyed it. But I also feel like I can't dig into this because then that's all I'll do.
Oh, dude, it's a complete time suck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't. I played it when it first came out, and it was like I would just get lost in the void for like hours at a time. I bought Starfield
Mm-hmm.
because me and my brothers were like big on Oblivion in high
Yeah.
school. And I looked at the clock on Starfield, and I had put 25 hours in
Shit,
like
dude.
a week or something. And I was like, I haven't even done any stand-up, and I just haven't booted it up
Oh
since.
wow. Yeah, dude. That's the other part, right? Like now we gotta work, and if you want to do stand up, that's our video game now.
Right, it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just blow like 5 hours a day. That could have been like 25 hours writing.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I wasted that time.
Yeah.
Also, what's your writing process like?
Dude,
Do you go like notebook first?
there was a point where I tried to riff on stage a lot because I would try to memorize everything
Yeah.
word for word, and then that would just end up like, and it still happens today, but I know the process of how to like get it down now.
Yeah.
But I tried to riff on stage for a long time, and it made me like not care in the sense of like, oh, I'm not worried about forgetting shit, so it made me very confident in that way.
Yeah.
But now I try to write,
Yeah.
and then now I memorize it, but like really, really hammer it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'll see me like I'm forgetting shit on stage just because
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to like memorize it.
Yeah.
So I'll do that, and then I'll just do it on stage, and if I'll just try to figure out what's not working, and then I'll try to piece it together from there
Okay,
and
yeah.
listen to it. But yeah, it's a little bit of like just what's it called? Why am I blanking on this now? Like a little just like trial and error right now.
Oh yeah. I think
So,
that's
Well, what about
that's,
you?
That's got to be the whole thing the whole time
Mm-hmm.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll like go over things like a lot in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will make like a note, and then I'll write it on stage, and if it goes well on stage, then I go back to the audio
Mm-hmm.
and I write it all down to log it down.
Yeah.
So it's like saved, and then
Mhm.
I tweak it in writing. But I like doing it mostly in my head first.
Yeah.
Like I don't like coming up with things during the process of writing,
Yeah.
because then I'm not like in a pocket of talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in like a writing place, and then I go up there and it feels like I'm reciting something.
Yeah.
It feels like, at least to me, like some people can do it, but it sounds like very stiff
Yeah.
to me, and I feel stiff. Like I feel like I can't be funny because I'm so constricted, because I'm
Yeah.
like I have to say
Yeah.
what's been written down. So I like to have it come out of my mouth first, but
Yeah.
then like once you go into tags and stuff, you can kind of write those
Yeah.
like quick things.
Yeah,
you know what I
because
mean?
like you already have the structure memorized, so like
Right.
adding a tag is not.
Yeah, so the writing for me is mostly like logging.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really like the creative part, but I have to write it down to remember it.
Yeah.
A lot of shit will come to me at work, you know what I mean? And then so I make notes and log it down then, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
there's an element too, like I know like all those stories from back in the day, and I like know they're funny,
Mm-hmm.
but like I don't want to sit down and like write them in a conclusive way, because it's like it kind of, you can't be like organic or dynamic with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I know some people that like create by writing. I just never understood how they do that.
I know exactly what you mean, because when I do it that way, and I get very I do get like try to recite it the way I wrote it, because when I write it to me, I'm like, oh, this seems great because I wrote it, and then now I want to try it to see if it worked.
Right.
But then I get into that like, oh, I'm like a robot right now, just saying words.
Right. And then I feel like people can tell too.
Yeah.
We're like not present
Mm-hmm.
with the audience.
Yeah.
But I do know like some comics will like, I do know them. They'll like write it all down first and then do it. I'm not sure how they've managed to
like keep it all in there.
Well, no, it's like bridge the gap between like how I write is in the way that I talk.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like I'm giving like a book report or something. Yeah. You what time we got?
You got a jet?
No, I don't think I got a jet. I just gotta use the restroom.
Oh, dude,
quick.
yeah. Let's pause real quick. We got 3:46. We've been going for an hour and a half.
Okay.
Let me pause real quick.
All right, we're back.
We're back. We just did a little pee break.
Yeah. Need to know that. I was singing in the bathroom just how fucking astronomically clean your home is. No, but it's important for a man to live with a woman or a very clean gay man.
Yeah.
Either pick whatever it is.
Yeah.
'Cause it's, I don't know, dude. The level of just, my girlfriend like is obsessed with things being organized and clean.
Yeah.
And it's such like a helpful thing.
Mm.
And dude, you give like 3 guys a house.
Oh,
for
it's
too
a
long,
mess.
It's gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like these people don't want to like settle down or have women in their lives. And it's like you're missing a whole element of this thing. Like you need that energy. Like you can't just come home and just be whatever you want. You can't just let men just be whatever they want to be at their house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It needs like a little bit of pushback.
Oh man, I remember like I consider myself to be pretty organized, and my wife will just be like, "Hey, you're missed." She doesn't do the miss the spot thing, but she'll be like, "Hey, come on, buddy," or like,
yeah, just be like, what is this? My girlfriend does that a lot. Why is that? I'll just get butt ass naked.
Yeah.
And just leave my clothes as I'm walking.
Yeah.
She's like, what is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, I just cleaned. Isn't that have a spot?
Aren't you supposed to put that somewhere?
What do you ate? You bum. And I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta clean this up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of apartments I had. I was that one dude with like no decorations in any of my room.
Yeah.
It would just be like a lamp,
Yeah.
a bed,
Yeah.
a desk.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
like
it.
just fundamental things to
Yeah.
hold objects. There's no like flavor. It was just like it looked like a room in like a bunker.
Yeah.
Like I was like in war.
That was me before I met my wife, and then like, well, this house right now is pretty much like that. Is there's no decorations. We just moved in it like 4 months ago, and when we moved, like I moved here from Utah.
Yeah.
And we just like left a bunch of shit there, so we just didn't have to like bring so many like as we
get rid of it.
Yeah, just get rid of it. And we're like, we'll just buy something. We haven't bought anything. But anyway, so before that, like the same thing, man. I just had nothing, just bed. I didn't even have a couch.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had a 1-bedroom, but I didn't have a couch. I had a TV, but I had like an individual chair where you sit in, and that was it. And then she's like, we need a couch. We need this. And
right. As soon as she walks in, right?
Yeah.
This is what we need. Don't have this. We need a TV. But they love decorating.
Yeah.
They love decorations. I'm really breaking new ground here.
Dude, this
pod. This has never been discussed.
This has never been, honest to God, this has never been discussed.
I was thinking about this weird thing. Women love shopping.
Yeah,
you ever
women be shop.
Bitches be shopping, don't they? This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend can't function unless it like feels cozy.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about a house, dude.
Yeah.
I live like my mentality is like refugee mentality. Like if I was single, if my house exploded, I would just keep walking.
just hang around.
Just be cool.
Leave
There's
them.
only like $100 worth of goods in there anyways.
Yeah. What am I to worry about?
Yeah, just go to a mic. Let it burn.
Yeah.
Just, I'm done with it. Yeah. The
Oh.
you guys get the solar panel people out here?
Yeah, dude, you don't know how many times that like they not and remember I told you about the dog like, hey, call before you get here because when someone knocks at the door, he goes ape shit. Dude, there's a lot of solicitors in this neighborhood, and they knock constantly, and he just fucking like goes straight to the
Do
door.
they walk away after that?
No, they're like, sorry to set your alarm off or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah, they're fuckers.
yeah, but
you
dude,
know what? I did that for 3 days. I tried doing that. Me and Avery Hutto needed a job really bad.
Yeah.
And this one dude does door to door, and he like does comedy and offered us a job. Dude, when I tell you we were bad at it, it might have been an understatement.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can't be pushy with people.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to go in there and you got to, all the it feels like all the suggestions, like the training they give you, are like loose instructions for like just like sexual assault. Like, you don't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be pushy.
Yeah.
These people don't know what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna go on in there, and at the last minute, you're gonna slip it in.
What?
You're like, excuse me, this is fucking a little weird. Like, I'm not pushy like that. I always felt immediately just a profound sense of guilt.
Yeah.
As soon as like, this is my job, they give me the hat, and they're like, all right, it's your turn to. Walking up on that front stoop is just. It's like I can do stand up now. I get nervous, but I'm like used to it, and that was like 30 times worse.
Yeah.
Knocking on somebody's door.
Man.
They're clearly busy and just being like, do you want?
Yeah, you're clearly interrupting. Like every time they've knocked on, like I work from home, so I'm just working, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry to interrupt." I'm like, I'm kind of busy, but I try to be nice to them because that's a rough job, But
It is rough, but some of them
some of them are big
just
assholes.
sociopaths.
Yeah,
they're like just Ted Bundy on a fucking Segway.
Yeah,
just rolling around the neighborhood trying to make money. Just straight John Wayne Gacy eyes. You meet them, they're like, you don't even give a fuck about me in the slightest.
Yeah,
yeah. You just feel fucking terrible, and then people would be like, at the moment of resistance, the first resistance, it would just be like,
okay.
Yeah, I'd just be like, yeah, sure, that's awesome.
That's know what, I get what you're saying. I'm just gonna go. 3
straight days, and it was in the middle of the summer too. There's no trees out here. We're just walking around outside, pouring sweat.
Oh man!
And people have been like, yeah, you've they've been coming here for 3 years trying to do this. I'm like, 3 years?
Damn.
Why are you sending me? Also, like, there's a thing called the internet, and you can just get.
Yeah, you can sell
solar panels on the internet. Why the fuck am I going up to people's homes?
Yeah.
Bothering them trying to do this thing. Yeah, it was crazy too because people just hang out with me. Like, I guess they liked hanging. Like, I knocked on one lady's door and I was like, I just opened with, I was like, I don't want to be here and I don't like this job. She's like, oh, haha, yeah. She's like, well, you want a drink? And then I started talking to her. She's like, maybe you should try Instacart.
Yeah.
She's like, my son does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to do Instacart. It's just me and like a soccer mom who's at home. It's like drinking Waterloos on the porch. Just living it up.
Oh,
and then at the end, I was like, so you don't want to meet? And they're like, absolutely not.
No, but you're really cool, though.
Yeah. You're a great hang. I'm not buying this at all. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of the days, too, I just skip like 20 houses.
Dude, because they make you go to every single house, right?
What?
Do they make you go to every single house in the neighborhood?
They tried, but I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
It was kind of apparent. Like, Avery and I, because Avery would ride with me, and they drive us like 40 minutes outside of Austin up north, these like suburbs.
Yeah.
I have no AC in my car. We'd just be rolling, pouring sweat in my shitty car. We get to the neighborhood and just be like, God. And like after the first day, we're like, oh, we can get this. It's just the first day. The second day, like a little bit more defeated. On the third day, there was definitely a vibe where You know when you look at somebody and neither one wants to say the negative thing, and then it breaks,
Yeah.
and the other person's like, "Dude, I thought you'd never say it." But he looked at me and he was just like, "I fucking hate this," and I was
Yeah.
like, "I thank God that you said that," because I didn't want to be a negative bummer.
Yeah.
I want to be like gung ho, like we can make it.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said it, he's like, we should quit. He was like, I was like, yeah. He's like, we'll quit together. Let's go eat a sandwich. And we just left early and just like texted the guy like, oh, we can't do this anymore. This is not. It sucked, man. And then you go around and there'd be other companies knocking on people's doors ahead of you.
Yeah.
I fucking met Kyle, this dude Kyle,
Yeah.
on a Segway. And he was a good kid, but he was really fucking me up. Because I was trying to knock on people's doors.
And
He was just ahead of me on the Segway. And every time I turned a corner in this neighborhood,
no.
I would just see Kyle just on the Segway.
Fucking Kyle,
in his little
dude.
mesh hat.
He had a mesh.
Dude, everybody has mesh hats.
Oh, man.
Mesh hats, like a dry wick collared shirt. Just holding out pamphlets. I had one dude open the door and go, he just opened it. I don't give a shit. He like opened up screaming at me. He's like, you get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit and fuck you. And I was like, all right. I just kept walking.
When you saw like a no soliciting sign, did they tell you like, hey, you still knock on that door, or they're like, okay, you can skip that one?
No, the dude we were working under. So basically, the whole thing is a giant pyramid scheme, and he's like working under people. But he was willing to give us like a really good cut because he was also a comic and wanted to help us out.
Okay.
So like if we had one sale go through, we would have made $1,000.
Okay.
And that was cool because it was like, dude, one sale a day?
Yeah, it's $1 million, dude.
That's like $1 million in a week. You know, that's how we were thinking, and
Yeah.
it's just so fucking impossible.
Yeah, it's.
But he was cool about it. If there was no solicity, he's like, dude, I don't even knock on those doors.
Yeah.
He's like, I've had people call the cops on me. Some people do.
Oh shit.
I learned this at the very end. Actually, the best people, because our deal was we had discounted for a time American and Canadian made solar panels.
Okay.
So we had like American, USA made shit. So at the very end, this was the day that we quit, but I started going to every house with an American flag,
okay.
a truck, and a we don't call the police guns thing. And I'd walk up to there, and I'd knock on their door, and they'd answer like pissed off, because they've already heard the solar panel thing before.
Yeah.
And a lot of their gripes was that it was made in China.
Okay.
So I just walk up to them, and I'd be like, real quick, not going to bother you, American-made solar panel. That's all I'd say. And they would talk to me.
Really?
I almost got one guy.
Oh, dude, so like you found the in.
Yeah, at least with the America people. Because they were like, we don't want Chinese bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, you don't want to give your money to the feds with these fucking big electrical, these woke energy companies.
Yeah.
This woke electrical Austin energy company from the federal government. Just bullshitting out of my ass. You don't want that.
Yeah.
What you need is an American-made solar panel so you and your family can live off the grid efficiently. But they don't want the Chinese bullshit, so I'm hitting them with we got America.
Oh, man.
American-made, and we almost got one.
If you would have stuck with it at least one more day, you probably would have gotten a couple.
Yeah, but
You were like, eh.
wasn't worth it, dude. There's a certain type of...
There's a lot of rejection in that.
Well, you need like a certain type of confidence.
Yeah.
It's also just bothering people is like such a shit thing to do.
Yeah. So
Like some of these people, it's the only time they have
yeah.
to not be bothered.
Yeah.
Like they just got back from being in traffic.
Yeah.
And then there's me. Like you put it in that perspective, it's like it never stops for some of these people.
Yeah.
Or they have kids, and you know, the worst was when someone would open the door and there's clearly like chaos going on in the house. You can like hear them fighting.
Oh shit.
Like I've heard people inside like arguing with each other.
Yeah.
One weird thing, they open the door and it's an Islamic woman.
Okay.
young Islamic woman in like full garb, not a burqa, but like almost a burqa,
the whole
like hijab and a long
like that long dress
yeah.
thing.
She has rubber gloves on. A nurse, I can see a nurse in there. She has rubber gloves on. And there's like a grandma with rubber gloves and a mask on.
Who the hell are they cutting up, dude?
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I had no idea what was going on in that house. And the nurse had to talk to me because they didn't understand.
They didn't understand shit, dude.
They didn't understand English.
Did you just like leave immediately or?
Dude, I tried. The thing is people from the Middle East and Asia, the friendliest families, and those women are usually home, and they'll talk to you forever, and they'll agree to it, and they won't do anything without their husband's consent.
Yeah.
So it's like pointless to even talk to them.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that. Honestly, I haven't even seen the dude that we worked with. He was doing comedy, but
he probably.
I mean, that shit runs like the good hours are 4 to 9 p.m.
Oh, so those are comedy hours.
So it's like you can't do fucking comedy. We're trying to do this shit in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Just talking to soccer moms. One time, a kid opened the door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that happened a lot. Like kids would just open the door, and I'd be like,
"Is your mom home?
Is the owner of the home here?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, dude, you're gonna die one day. I just knocked on the door, and you're like, nobody's here. It's like, this kid's not gonna make it.
Oh man.
I went to one house, and the kid that was being babysat, he didn't live there. He opens the door.
The kid that doesn't live there opens the door?
Yeah, he was like 8 or something. He's kind of a chubby kid with gelled hair. Like one of those little fuckers. Yeah. And he was eating like a lot of food blatantly, and it was like all over his face. And he opens the door, and he's just looking at me. And the lady comes out, 'cause she's like, "Don't open the door. What are you doing?" So I'm now like in this conversation with this lady.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It always felt like highly manipulative.
Yeah.
Like it should be a proposition. It's like, do you want it? No. All right, goodbye. Good. But people just try to cram it down these poor people's throats, man.
Yeah.
What's the worst job you've had?
So I'm in sales now.
Right.
But it's on the phone.
Oh,
or like trade shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The actual job is fun, but it makes me like I travel to like places where I can't do comedy, so that's what bothers me about it. So and I have to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why like sometimes you just won't see me for like a couple of weeks.
Right.
So the actual job is fun, but I don't like that aspect of it. So that kind of gets in my way. But the worst job I've had was like text. Have you ever done like customer service on the phone?
Yeah. Well, not customer service. I tried to cold call people.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. It's like it's like the equivalent of knocking on people's doors, but at least it's just like from the comfort of your own home or office.
Yeah, they can just not answer.
Yeah.
Very easily. It's way better than.
Yeah. So I would say right before this job, I did tech support for that same company because they asked me to because they didn't have anybody. I'm like, I'll do it for a few months.
Yeah.
I was the only one answering the phone, dude. It fucking sucked. Like, dude, I have never been as emotionally drained in my life.
Yeah.
As
I've been the only one?
Yeah, I was so there were two people.
How frequently would people?
Dude, it was like some days it was like I would end a call and then I'd see and there was like 6 or 7 missed calls that I just had to call. I'm like, fuck this, dude. And
that's terrible.
Yeah, I did that for 6 months. Dude, no, my boss is amazing. They're really cool dudes, but the fucking job sucked, dude. And it was like it's tech support for like a solar battery. Yeah. So I didn't know anything about voltages and shit like that before. Yeah. I learned it on the job while answering the phone for angry people like, hey, this thing is not working. How do you fix it? Yeah. I didn't know how to fix it.
Yeah, and they'd be already pissed by the time they got to you, and now they're acting like you broke their phone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you didn't. You just
Yeah.
don't know what to do
Yeah.
because you dropped it in the toilet. And it's just fucking broken.
Yeah. So that sucked quite a bit.
Yeah, that's tough. I did was it cold calling people for like a weird realty website
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't. I don't know if it's a real company or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd cold call people to get like people who had rental properties up. I had to call them to get them to post their rental property on our website.
Okay.
And the thing about the website was that you would, if you worked, they would want you to work with an agent. So it was for agents to get in contact with homeowners and landlords.
Mm.
And no one wanted to put it up there. One, it was a shit website. Nobody fucking knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew what it was. Have you ever heard? I don't even know if I can. I'm not even gonna mention it, the name on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But no one knew what it was, and then we would just call these people, and they would ask, why should I be on this website? And I would have nothing to say to them because there was no reason why.
Yeah.
And then they'd ask, like, am I going to have to work with an agent? And I would just have to, like, lie to them.
Oh, shit.
Because that's what it would be. So it's like if you worked with an agent, your property would go to the top of the list on the website.
Okay.
And if you didn't, they would put you at the bottom and you get no hits. And so they'd have an agent continually contact you to try to get them to work with you if you were on the website. And people didn't want to do that. So I had to, like, sell them this thing while I just had to, like, bullshit through my teeth that this was, like, the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'd get, like, one listing a day.
Out of how many calls?
Calling all day.
Oh, shit, dude.
They would want... They wanted like 5 or 6 a day,
Mm.
and I would get like one because I would just call and be like, I
don't know.
like I remember one time I was like, hi, my name is Alex, and they just hung up the phone.
Yeah.
Just shit like that. Also, my boss was a very like flamboyant and condescending gay black man. Who was very, like, outspoken and outgoing and would just, like, shit on you.
Yeah.
Even if you, like, wore the wrong thing to work. Or, like, for being weird. And he would constantly call me into his office. And then we would end up talking, like, philosophy and politics for 2 hours and get, like, nothing done. And then he'd be, like, upset that I couldn't do the job. I was, like, super depressed at the time, too. And it was just, like, I can't. I left after, like, a month.
Damn, dude. It's a hard job.
Dude, some people are just not made for it.
Yeah.
I'm just not made for it, dude. People are like, I don't want to do something. I'm like, then don't do it.
Yeah. You don't gotta
You
do
go
it.
ahead, man.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. Well, what's been the job you had the most fun with?
Oh, definitely welding. My buddy actually just sent me a picture. Probably the best job I ever had was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like night shift at a factory, and we were all just like, it was like 20 like lunatic dudes that were hilarious.
Yeah.
Working from like, I think like 3:30 p.m. to like 1 to 2 in the morning.
Okay.
In a factory, like 5 nights a week during COVID.
Okay.
So we would just it was like me and all these country dudes would just meet there. It was like ex-felons and like good old boys and like certain like types of nerds.
Yeah.
And we'd all just like build giant food processing machines.
Yeah.
And that was a great job because those dudes were fucking hilarious. It was also during COVID, so I wasn't doing anything else. So I just go in there and work and just be done with it.
That sounds
what I
fun,
mean?
dude. Like, I feel like having a job where the people you're working with, they're cool. That makes the job like a million times better.
Oh yeah, dude. Anything. If you work with shitty people, it's just it's over.
Yeah.
And that was honestly just having people around. Like the door-to-door sales thing is like me and another dude would go out separately. So you just be getting shit on by
by
yourself.
yourself.
You just have to walk baking in the Texas sun in
Yeah.
like 110-degree weather,
Yeah.
just getting absolutely
Oh
destroyed.
man, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible, man.
Was that a factory job in Austin?
No, it was in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, they made giant, like, it was like 8. We'd build like basically the frames and the supports for all
Mhm.
the food processing equipment and the belts.
Mm.
But these, by the time they build those machines, they're like over 100 yards long.
Really?
Yeah, because they build them in sections and boxes.
Okay.
And they run all these things through conveyor belts and washers. So like by the end of like certain dried fruits and like wheat, like we'd send shit to like Kellogg's and stuff.
Mm.
And by the time that cereal is like done, it's gone through like 100 yards of
Whoa.
like equipment.
damn, dude.
You know, and like certain wheat and like dried fruit processors and stuff. So we would do that, and like it was dope because we'd have to build them in sections, and then if there was like one piece, some of the pieces were like 2 stories, so we like use cranes in the factory, and then you have to climb up inside this giant metal box.
Okay.
And it was like a gigantic like fucking jungle gym in there, and you're just like dicking off with these dudes like building this thing. Yeah, that's a great job. I mean, I'd do it right now still if I wasn't doing comedy.
Yeah.
Because it's just like some of the best dudes like work in that.
Yeah. But do they only do it those hours?
They had a day shift, so they'd run it almost 24 hours. So like day shift would start at 5 a.m. We'd get out at like 2:30 to 3 at night. So it was like a 2-hour break.
Okay.
And they'd bring in a different shift of people.
Damn.
Yeah.
But like none of those shifts are conducive to comedy though. It's like
No, that's why I had to leave. And it's like tried to weld down here and do comedy, and it's so fucking hot and exhausting. You can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
You know, I was welding in a place that was like an hour away.
Oh no.
It was like a 45-minute drive out there.
Plus traffic.
Well, with the traffic, and then like 45 minutes back.
Damn, man.
And so I'd get there at like 8, and then we'd go out, and I'd leave at 5, and I'd get back at like 6. Have to shower, and then it's like fresh off a construction site. You're like trying to do jokes.
Just fucking drained.
Never happened. It's never gonna happen.
Dude, I did construction for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, and for some reason I was still like, I would work out in the day, like in the morning before I would go. Then I would go there, and by the end of the day, dude, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah. So I'm like 2 weeks in, I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, dude, you can't do. It's like literally like the hardest.
Goddamn.
Goddamn. Hall's phone today wants to do something.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, even the people that do it, like a lot of those dudes, their schedule is like they go to bed at like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Because they're just so fucking beat to shit. And that, I mean, it'll destroy your body.
Dude, that is literally backbreaking work, dude.
Yeah, what did you do there?
So it was kind of like mixed. So one day I would do like drywall stuff. The other day like installation stuff, and then I did like siding one day. And the day that I was like, man, I can't do this anymore, was like I had to hammer a bunch of shit like out in the sun, and like southern Utah sun is like, it wasn't in the summertime, like you can get like 120-degree day during the summer.
Yeah.
It was like maybe like spring, so it's like maybe an 80 to 90-degree day, so it's not horrible.
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, after you hammering shit all day, that gets pretty hot.
Are there like a lot of trees out there?
No. A little bit, and yes and no. So it's a lot of rock.
Cause it reminds me of like one of the dudes that I worked with over COVID. It was like his like father-in-law had a double wide that he wanted to replace the roof on.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to put a tin roof on the double wide.
Okay.
So I went out there and I met this dude at like 8 in the morning, and his double wide is on a fucking peanut farm. So there's no trees for like half a mile in either direction. And it was like it was getting hot. So like the sun was on us from 8 in the morning till 8 at night.
Yeah.
Just all the way in the sky.
Damn.
And I was completely fucking destroyed. But we had a blast. I mean, the dude I worked with is a complete fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Like, he dresses like the first time I met him, I thought he was, by image, I thought he was a white supremacist. But he's not. He's just a dude. He had a Fu Manchu.
Okay.
He would wear a chain wallet, giant boots.
And shaved head.
Like jeans, shaved head. He would wear a Don't Tread on Me, like bandanas tied up. And he'd roll up like on a motorcycle. And he was like 40-something. His name was Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin. Using the real name. Won't use the last name. But he was like straight North Carolina country, like lunatic.
Yeah.
Like talked about strategies to keep like money in your walls and shit. Like that kind of dude. He would put a lip of dip in his mouth and swallow it.
He would swallow the dip?
Yeah, and he was completely fine.
Whoa.
He was like, I don't spit, man. He's like, my mouth stay dry, you know, just a little bit. Swallowed if I need to, shit. He's like, man, you come out here, we're gonna put a roof on the double wide. I give you like $200 for the day. I was like, hell yeah. We went out there. His family was cool. It was super country. They bought me Hardee's for lunch. And then the dude comes out. I get there before him, and the dude comes out in cut-off jean shorts. His like father-in-law or whatever, with 2 dip cans in each back pocket, no shirt on. He's just an old dude, and he's just telling me about, like, well, you here to meet Kevin? Like, yeah. He's like, man, let's we got like a peanut field out here. It's a peanut field, and you know this and that, and I gotta about that. And he's like showing me shit in his backyard.
Yeah.
And he's like, and back here, I'm making some homemade mead. Got some homemade liquor out in the shed back here. Got my homemade liquor set up.
Yeah.
And then, he had a homemade mead. He gave us a glass. Me and Kevin both had a glass of mead, and it was like,
strong.
we probably shouldn't have been doing that, but we were like tipsy.
Yeah.
Tipsy up on the roof. With just like a fucking nail gun on the roof of this double
dude,
wide.
you do not want that.
Yeah,
man.
and he was just like, he was just playing like blasting country music on a jam box.
Yeah.
We were just listening to music all day, just busting ass. It was a good fucking time. He was drinking Natty Lights the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like, man, I don't get drunk like that. I just need the calories.
Fuck, dude, this dude is hardcore, man.
No, it's the real. He was the real deal.
Damn.
Like, people talk about that, like, not so many, but there's so many comics that are like, I'm gonna do the blue collar country thing. I was like, that guy is.
Yeah.
Like, he like was the real North Carolina country guy, like on a farm, just like dirt broke. Yeah.
Dude, those guys are tough, man. Fuck.
Dude, they're tough as shit. But he was happy. Like, I was about to tap out, but we worked for like 12 hours straight on this roof in the sun.
Oof, jeez, man.
Yeah, but it was a good time, you know.
That's the fridge.
They fed me. I got paid. Yeah, but those are the types of dudes I was working with.
Those
some ex-felons, like one dude got caught dealing like felony possession of cocaine, like ex-cocaine dealers. Just a smorgasbord. It was the company got caught, like someone called ICE on our company.
What?
And so like 50 of the employees got like deported.
What?
And so they needed to hire a bunch of people immediately, and they just brought anybody in.
Really?
Yeah, they just had a crazy amount and just crazy weird mix of people.
Yeah.
Like felons, like anime nerds, a couple autistic guys.
Yeah.
you know what I mean, a bunch of different Mexicans, like just rednecks, and there was just us trying to build these machines that were like way too highbrow for the people that were building them.
Yeah.
So, like the amount of times we hit like $50 million machines with hammers just to get it to fit was astounding. Like it was like caveman shit where they're like, it won't fit, and dudes are just up there like, why? Because it's just
That's the only way to get it in.
yeah, no one really does that work anymore either. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah, so it was, you know,
That's crazy.
it's a good time.
Those guys are hilarious for them. Like any construction person I've ever met, fucking hilarious people, man.
They're the funniest people on earth
Yeah.
because they're just free.
Yeah.
They just work. There's no HR department.
Yeah.
They're just purely living.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just goofy.
Yeah.
They have brain damage from the crazy work they did. They're all lunatics, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we had a long this was like a 3-hour debate at my job with my manager, and we were just going around trying to figure out who. We were just asking people like, would you fuck Hitler's wife? And it was like a big, like, it was
That's
highly
a big debate.
It was it was passionate, highly debated thing. Hold on one second.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, anytime I've ever hung out with anybody that did construction, dude, it's like just the hang is one of the best hangs you'll ever have.
Yeah, dude, it's a fucking blast. I mean, that like kept me sane during COVID because those dudes are all fucking hilarious. You remember what's great about comedy is being funny and laughing.
Yeah.
And you're hanging out with some of the funniest, like most lunatic people probably on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like that breed of guy. And you just get to hang out with him for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And do things at work, like talk about who would fuck Hitler's wife.
Yeah.
And like even the manager would just be in
He'd
on
pitch
it.
in.
Yeah, the manager was like, oh, he's a Mexican dude who was like jacked. We think he had a coke problem.
Yeah.
That was like rumored, but because he'd do shit like it would take like we'd have to put roofs on these. So we'd have a crane in the ceiling. And we'd have to put these roofs that were like very dangerous. Like if they fell, they were like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, like at least 500 pounds of metal.
Yeah.
And then the sides of them would be laser cut stainless steel that wasn't buffed down. So you're talking about like a 90-degree angle steel piece with like sharp 90-degree angles. Like if it fell on your arm, it just cut.
Yeah, you
Cut
lose
your
the
arm
limb.
off or you die. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
And it'd be like 5 minutes left of work, and he'd just like come out from wherever he was hiding or roll around, and he'd just like pop up to be like, we can get the roof on. Come on. It's like, dude, there's like 5 minutes left of work. He's like, we got it. Come on.
Oh,
and
no.
like his kid would always have to come up and like chill him out. Because it's like a 30 to 45 minute process because you don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah.
And he was always like, we can get one more roof on. Like, let's go. And he was constantly driving around the forklift.
Yeah.
Just like speeding around and like checking on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an insane person. He was like truly a crazy guy. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but those guys are just a blast to be around.
Yeah,
just
man.
a fucking great time. Yeah.
So you moved here from North Carolina then?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Oh, what so you did the pizza stuff, and after, what was the Appalachian, what was that called?
Appalachian State?
Yeah. What was that?
Boone.
So you went to Boone?
It's in western North Carolina in the mountains.
And then from there, you moved to Chicago, right?
No, I went back to Raleigh.
Okay.
And then around like 25, I started doing 24 or 25, I started doing stand-up. Then around when I was like 27, I moved to Chicago.
Okay. So you did 2 years in Raleigh?
Yeah, about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was Chicago like?
Oh, dude, I can't stand it. Fucking hated that scene.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude, it just, I don't know. At the time, I heard it cleaned out a little bit and
Mhm.
like chilled out a little bit during COVID because
Mhm.
like a lot of people moved, but
Yeah.
it was I didn't enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't good at. It's the weird type of place where I'd run a show. I ran
Mm.
a show at the Chicago Laugh Factory every month. We'd have
Yeah.
like 200 to 300 people in there every single month.
Yeah.
Got me nothing in the scene.
Really?
No extra gigs.
Really?
Nobody else wanted to hear from you.
Damn.
Like, I feel like if you're at Rogan's Club down here
Mhm.
or Sunset and you run a show, you're getting something out of it.
You can,
Because people are here and they're excited, and there's more of like, even if you're not best friends with everybody, it's like a thing amongst the comics where it's like, you're a comic,
yeah.
you're doing this show, do you want to do my show?
Yeah.
Like, let's kind of
Yeah,
work
it'll
together.
hook you up, yeah.
This is exciting, you know what I mean? You can come do a spot. Out there, it was so disjointed and nobody gave a fuck, and there's a lot of like older comedians in Chicago who have not made it, and they have like an open mic king mentality.
Oh, okay.
Where they'll be like really pretentious and like kind of like be a dick and kind of haze you, and they have like a stranglehold on certain things. So it's like it felt like I wasn't coming up in comedy or trying to come up in comedy through audience members or like a club.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to impress certain comics at certain open mics, and it was just they had a heckle mic there, a little bit like Banana Phone, but Banana Phone, they let you do a minute and then they heckle you, and it's a blast and everybody enjoys it. It's like one of the biggest shows.
Yeah.
Over there, they would heckle you just while you did a set.
Oh, really?
So there wasn't like a time frame of how to switch it, and everybody would just stand there drinking with their arms folded, and you'd be on a stage the same height as them. Basically, so you're like 6 inches off the ground.
So you're basically like at the same level.
Yeah, you're just looking at people standing there with their arms folded, and you like do comedy, and they just shit all over you. They would chant "quit comedy" at people a lot.
Really?
They'd always tell people to quit comedy.
Damn, man, that's ruthless.
Yeah, they were just. And the thing that got me is like none of them were that good.
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing you hear stories about like Patrice O'Neal in the cellar
just roasting everybody.
But it's also like at that point,
Well,
he's probably the funniest comic in the country.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Down there was like you're like a local showcase guy.
Yeah.
Why are you
this mean?
Why are you talking shit to me like this? What the fuck? Who gave you? No one gave you the authority to do this. Why would you? Why would you treat people like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just, I don't know. I felt like it was a super toxic, kind of like clicked up environment. And it was also when Me Too started. I was up there.
Oh, okay.
So on top of that,
So that
you had a bunch of people getting canceled all the time at open mics. So it's like you go to the open mics and then there'd be that, and then on top of that was like, if you did the wrong thing, you just get canceled on the Facebook. Dude, we could go on Chicago Comedy Facebook group right now. Don't do it because it's a wormhole of despair and it's hard to look away. But it's just a toxic circulation of people arguing and calling people out.
Oh, no.
Gossiping, and then everybody chiming in on.
Jeez,
Yeah,
man.
it was not a good time, man.
How long were you there for?
Like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, so you stuck in there for a while.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do fucking comedy. Also, me and my friends, like, none of us had girlfriends. We were all living. None of us were successful. It's just everybody was just eating shit up there. You know what I mean? And it.
Like, you hear such, like, nice things about the Chicago comedy scene, and it's just like.
You hear nice things about it?
I don't know. Like, they say Chicago's like a nice comedy city, but I wonder if that's just like the improv stuff.
Well, it's like really big on improv, and it's like a weird thing too. Like if I could have made it into Showcase, there's like different levels of comedy there where it's like headliners come through, and then there's a little tier under that where it's like showcasing, and
Yeah.
then there's like a little low that is like indie bar show
Mhm.
things, and then mics, and I
Yeah.
was like really just stuck at mics.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it was just really also a weird thing too, where the city's so segregated. There's like 3 comedy scenes.
Really?
Yeah, there's a north side scene, which is all the white people
Okay.
and the hipsters, and then there's a south side scene because that's how the city is designed. Like you
Mhm.
literally be on the train, hit 35th Street,
Mhm.
and all the white people are gone.
Really?
I swear to God, it's like it turns on like a block radius.
Whoa.
And then it's like 45 minutes of a train ride south. It's just all black people and occasionally
Damn.
Mexicans.
Okay.
So that's how the city is set up. So the south side scene is all the black comics.
Mhm.
And then there's the west side scene, which is also only black comics.
Mhm.
But they don't fuck with the south side scene.
Okay.
And like I will say the south side black comics are some of the best people I ever met.
Mhm.
And those rooms were a fucking blast.
Yeah.
All their shows were professional. They had DJs and shit, and people dressed up and paid for tickets, and you could like really that felt like doing stand up how it should be done when you worked with those guys.
Yeah.
But up in the north side like hipster scene, it was just, dude, I don't know. I guess it was like the Me Too energy. Like the comics from Chicago at that time were so woke
Ugh.
that apparently the New York and LA comics didn't like them
Really?
at that time, at the height of it.
Whoa.
New York and LA,
dude.
the comics up there were like, Chicago comics. Come on.
Damn, dude. And so I was in LA for a while, and like it was pretty woke there.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of wokeness in LA and New York too, but there was like the sentiment amongst the majority of people
Fuck Chicago.
where they were just like, God, Chicago comics are coming
Damn,
over here.
man.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah, I mean, it taught me how to put a little grit on me, stand-up wise, where I was like, man, this is brutal to be doing every single night.
Yeah.
So in that way, I'm glad that I did it. It also has made me appreciate Austin so much because it's like the comics here just chill
Yeah.
and they'll just hang out with you. Like there's no weird like pretensions.
No, everybody here is friendly for the most part. Anybody I've
Even
talked
like
to.
the headliners aren't. You know, even the upper comics will be cool with you if you're in the green room with them.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Coming from Chicago. I remember we were at a bar one night and this older comic was like drunk and just kept like coming at me and my friends. Because first off, we were from North Carolina, so they just referred to us as the North Carolina comics.
Oh, really?
The whole time we were there. And they were like, you're a crew. You're the North Carolina crew. And we're like, we're hanging out because we know each other.
Yeah.
But everybody else just called us the North Carolina comics.
Damn.
Which is already weird.
Yeah, that's
like
strange.
I fucking moved.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Nobody
moved.
does that
you
here.
moved too, dude.
Yeah, and this one dude was like drunk at the bar, this like older guy that was like doing comedy there. And he just kept coming at my friend, just being like, you guys ain't shit. You guys ain't shit. North Carolina comics ain't shit. Oh, you think you come up here, blah, blah. Y'all ain't shit. And my buddy just looks at him and goes, no one gives a fuck what you think. He just went off on him. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to like haze us.
Yeah.
I think part of it in their mind was like a friendly hazing. We're like, we're in this shit together. We're tough. We're like Chicago comics, fucking quit comedy. You gotta quit comedy because comedy sucks. It's like, you guys are so fucking gay. You're so fucking lame.
Oh, man.
It was so, yeah. But yeah, I'm really glad to have been there because it makes Austin is like just like a dream of a scene in comparison.
Yeah.
People like complain sometimes in Austin about like the scene or like not getting booked and about how comics act. I'm like, you guys have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Even when I start to talk a little bit of shit, I try to like check myself because I'm like, remember how dog shit this was? This was like the worst comics can be,
Yeah.
you know. Even just to like know you're not gonna get canceled down here for anything on stage.
That's kind of strange that they would do that to the comics, though. Like, okay, just don't say stuff like that and just keep going, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember there was this one guy that like made a bunch of transgender jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first time I had seen transgender material get like really. The first time I'd seen someone really fail at it.
Yeah.
And granted, the dude's vibe was bad. He was
Yeah.
like a pretty much homeless guy.
Yeah.
That was like doing comedy with the intention to piss people off, which is the worst kind of comedy.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of comedy.
But yeah, he got fucking canceled for that. What was weird is someone posted to Facebook and like 30 other people would just chime in on the group to just like. One dude made a joke about some girl like killing herself, and then he got ripped to shreds. You know what I mean? And then another dude got.
So they don't like. So when someone would do that, they just don't let them go even to an open mic or anything like that.
I got a story for you about that. The people that get canceled eventually end up choosing not to go. But there's this one guy, and I'm not gonna mention names at all, but he was accused of fingering a girl while she was passed out on his couch.
Okay.
Which is bad.
That's not a good start.
Yeah, that's assault. That's like it was the one time where it was like this is actually cancelable.
Yeah.
Where it was like, okay, this makes sense.
I mean, you can put that guy in jail or something. I don't know.
Jail, right. And he got called out on Facebook, got banned from a bunch of the clubs, and got banned from all the open mics.
Yeah.
And then just a week later, this dude just comes into the open mic, one of the ones he got canceled from, and just signs up.
Oh, really?
And no one knew what to do. And they just let him go up. And then he just started doing open mics again.
Really? That was it?
Yeah, because he was just like, all right, well, they canceled him online. And he just went to the open mic and just did the open mic anyways.
Whoa.
And no one knew, like, I guess, how to handle the confrontation in real life.
Yeah.
So everybody just got mad, but they didn't tell him not to. So he just won. He just came back and was like, nah, I'm still doing comedy.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't allowed at the major clubs with, like, security.
Yeah.
But he did go to mics still.
Okay.
It was wild. I'd never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah,
it was a whole debacle.
Yeah, dude. That
so he got canceled. He threatened to kill himself online, and he like went manic and started running around the city. And then other people went to try to go find him, and they finally found him and like brought him back. And like a week later, after all this shit, he was just at open mics, and people were like, we canceled you, but everybody does everything online, so they didn't have the courage to be like, we don't want you on this mic, we're crossing you off the list, we're not calling you up. So they just let him do mics.
Wow.
So the whole facade, he just burst it.
Yeah. Well, it
was insane, dude. It's an insane comedy scene.
Yeah, dude, that is weird.
Very weird.
Man. Yeah,
it gave me a...
Well, the cool thing is it gave you like some perspective on.
Right. Yeah, I have one friend. She was up there, and she's in New York now, doing pretty well. But she told me she remembered being there and just being like, because we came from North Carolina, where like doing comedy there was like really fun. Because no one had the pressure of we've got to make it. Everybody's just doing comedy for the sake of being funny. Yeah. Before they technically like moved to other places. Yeah. And that was like a blast. And then she got to Chicago and she said she remembered thinking to herself, like, I guess comedy just isn't fun at like a certain level. Because of just how it was there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's like, she thought that's the way it is. Just because. Right. And then she ended up going to New York and she's like, oh, no, it's just Chicago just sucks. It was just a shitty time period for that scene. And I don't even know what it's like now. Yeah. But I keep hearing, I don't hear great things, to be honest. Yeah. Do you still, like, keep in touch with people from there? There's a couple of Chicago comics that are down here. Okay. Yeah, but they just, like, some of those dudes had just such a fucking arrogance about them. where it was like, we're Chicago comics. And I think in their mind, they felt like they were the third in the list of New York and L.A., and it's like, you're not. There's nothing. There's no industry here.
Yeah.
It's all indie-run shows run by other comics. It's like, it's not New York and L.A. L.A. has Hollywood. New York has every stand-up
The biggest
agent
comedy scene
in the world.
The world, yeah.
Every major club and every like agent and manager that works in the business of stand-up is out there.
Yeah.
Why are you guys being dicks?
Yeah.
You're bombing just like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, well, why brag about that shit, dude?
Yeah, but the Midwest has great fucking crowds, though.
Yeah.
Like, you get into an actual club and, like, there's, like, a lot of road gigs up there that are fun, you know? It's a fun place to do stand-up, like, audience-wise.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, it was probably, too, like, it had to be something with what I was going through, because I don't think I was good enough to get into the place where it was supposed to be, like, fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in my way was just, like, it just felt like a bunch of weird gatekeeping energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're just hanging out with your buddies who are we're all just eating shit.
Yeah, you're all in the same boat.
As neurotic as we can possibly be at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, Austin rocks, man.
Yeah, I love it here, man.
Dude, it's so much, the comedy scene is so much better here than, I wouldn't, you know, it gets hyped a lot. I don't know if I'd say it's the comedy mecca
Of the world now.
of the world. I'd say it's probably still New York.
I would agree with, like, I love it here. I think it's a great scene, but I would still have to say that New York.
It's got to be New York, right?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, Hinchcliffe says that because it's promoting his show,
yeah.
which, you know, that's marketing.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, baby.
Yeah, you got to do it,
Got to
baby.
tell the people this is the highlight
this is
of
the
everything.
best. Anything you're doing, this is the best thing you're doing.
Yeah, it's just the game. You got to tell them that's the fucking method.
Yeah.
It might be in 10 years if it keeps going.
Yeah, if the
if
way
it
it's
keeps
going.
excelling at this rate,
Yeah.
it might be like on par with New York.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's a great place to like practice the art. But it's just, it's a great fucking time down here to do it.
And I think people here are actually focused on being funny, which is
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is there
the important
like,
part.
down here you can be focused on the art and being hilarious, and people will actually book you based on that.
Yeah.
You know, and it might not be in the major clubs, but the indie shows, like, that's how you get around here, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really feel like that in Chicago at all.
I think the indie shows are at least where you cut your teeth, right? Because I feel like performing at a mic is great to like practice, but then you do the shows, and then that's where you can actually test if your material is any good or not.
There's cutting your teeth, and there's getting them kicked out of your mouth, which is an open mic. Just getting you repeatedly kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
The mics. My theory is that open mics, at a certain point, for a very young starting out comic, they're great. At a certain point, like there's a certain skill level of comedy you can't surpass just being an open micer.
Yeah.
So you need to get in front of a crowd. You need an audience, whether that's the road or
Yeah.
indie shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could do it at indie shows if you just have, but you need audiences there.
Dude, that's the real test of your material at the end of the day. And like where you work your timing and all that, like that's where you work it out properly, cuz like you can do a little bit of that at the open mics, I feel.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
I mean, it's it's like playing basketball on a goal that doesn't have like a net on it.
yeah, that's
just
a great analogy.
It's just backboard, baby.
Yeah.
And you're like, I think that went close. Or the net's there, but it's like not paying attention to where the ball's going.
Yeah.
It's just like moving out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, you really do need an audience to find your voice and become like a professional comic.
Yeah.
I think that's like the big struggle for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you consistently get audiences? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, man.
Yeah. Listen, man, if I get a show running, I'll have you on. I'll
Same
get
here,
you some
buddy.
spots. You know
Same
what I
here,
mean?
my man.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
I would, dude. If I get a show, I think I might have a show. I think I'm almost like 90% sure I'm taking over East Austin on Friday nights.
Nice.
So that could be a good one to just try to get people in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe some people that haven't been getting in that they should be in more.
Mm-hmm. No.
You know what I mean? That'll be cool. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, man.
It'd just be like become a skeezy manager type. Have like a cigar with me all the time. I can't wait to just tell people you're gonna be a star.
You're gonna be a star, baby.
You're gonna be a star.
You're gonna
Huge
be
star.
huge, baby.
Huge star. That's just how I'm gonna act when I run the show. Just be an absolute nightmare to be around.
Yeah.
Just tell every single comic they're gonna be a star. You're gonna be a star, kid. You're gonna be a fucking star.
Oh man.
All right. I think I'm steaming out.
Yeah,
What do you
dude.
think? Good one?
Yeah, dude, that was great. Dude,
Good
thanks
talk.
for coming on, man.
Yeah, for sure. Give me a handshake.
All
Thank
right,
you very
my man.
much, Al.
Oh, thank you, buddy. That's it for the podcast this week, people. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe. And if you want to follow my shenanigans on the line, I am at Khalu2 on Instagram, KHALU2 on Instagram and Twitter. And that's it. I'll talk to you next week, babies. All right. Bye. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Boo. Be-de-be. Ba-ba-de-ba-be. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.